In the years spanning from 1800 to 1850, around 20,000 brave souls known as mountain men embarked on daring journeys into the wild, untamed American frontier. They confronted fierce winters, battled hunger, and faced perilous encounters, armed only with an axe, a rifle, and an indomitable spirit. These brave souls triumphed over the most unforgiving terrains of the continent, wielding talents that the modern world has nearly lost to time. With nothing but their hands and humble instruments, they wove the forests into havens that would endure through the ages. Let me take you on a journey into the heart of the wild, where the dream of crafting a cabin from the ground up became a reality amidst nature's raw beauty. Greetings, dear listeners! Before we embark on our journey together, I have a small request. If you find yourself tuning in regularly, please consider hitting that like button or subscribing. I often ponder the whereabouts of my audience, so I invite you to share your city and the time on your clock. It's quite fascinating to think that while I'm here recording under the night sky in the States, some of you might be enjoying breakfast in London. Tonight we embark on a journey back to the 1830s frontier. But before we dive in, make sure you're cozy. Adjust your pillows, wrap yourself in that blanket. Trust me, this tale is one you'll want to savor. Your eyes slowly open to a void, not the familiar embrace of your bedroom where soft streetlights filter through the blinds, but a profound, all-consuming darkness that envelopes you entirely. On a biting October morning in the year 1834, in the land that will one day be known as Montana, the scene unfolds in untamed wilderness. A sprawling canvas of rugged mountains and dense forest stretches endlessly, where the only rule is the instinct to survive. The earth beneath your feet is a solid frozen ground, hardened by the night's chill, and every part of you protests from the discomfort of having slept upon it. Instead of your cozy mattress, you find yourself resting on a bed of pine boughs, offering little comfort against the chill of the earth below. Your wool blanket, stiffened by frost, wraps around you as your breath creates wisps of clouds in the crisp pre-dawn air. The fire you tended to last night has dwindled to mere embers, a faint reminder of warmth. Your hands throb with the heat of fresh blisters. As you rise, the tempest that has been gathering strength for days now approaches. Ominous clouds gather over the far-off mountains, and the wind whispers the crisp, biting scent of impending snow. In these mountains, you've lingered long enough to decipher the omens. This storm is no ordinary tempest, but a fierce force that claims the lives of those who venture forth unprepared. Before you lies a pivotal decision. Construct a refuge today or face the bitter chill of death within a week. Many people are unaware, as I discovered from an ancient journal tucked away in a historical society archive, that a mountain man had perhaps a mere 12 hours to erect a basic cabin once he sensed the approach of winter, a fleeting window between survival and peril. In the heart of the mountains, a journal lay in the hands of a trapper known as Jeremiah Winters, a figure who roamed these rugged terrains in the 1830s. He recounted the tale of how he once crafted a cabin armed only with an axe keen enough to slice through bone, hands as rugged as leather, and the understanding that to fail was to invite death. His narrative captivates the imagination, revealing the remarkable skill these men possessed. It was far more than merely tossing a few logs together. As you stretch your back, the echoes of yesterday's toil resonate through every muscle. After 3 days of searching, you have finally discovered it. A small clearing on a gentle south-facing slope, cradled by a spring that remains unfrozen even in the harshest depths of winter. To the north, a thick stand of pines rises like a guardian, creating a natural barrier against the wind. From this vantage point, the landscape unfolds, allowing you to spot any traveler making their way from afar. Each choice was deliberate, for every decision carries weight when your very existence hangs in the balance. Imagine, if you will, a scene unfolding before you. Majestic pines encircle your presence, their robust trunks stretching 3 feet in diameter, soaring 100 feet high into the heavens. Amidst the forest floor lies a chaotic tapestry of fallen logs, rocks, and undergrowth. To the untrained eye, it may appear as mere wilderness, Yet to a seasoned mountain man, it is a treasure trove of resources. Everything essential for survival is present, waiting to be harnessed by those who understand its secrets. With a steady hand, you reach for your posables bag, a well-worn leather pouch that cradles your vital survival gear. Inside, flint and steel await, alongside a trusty knife, a whetstone for sharpening, and an awl for precision tasks. A few strips of jerky promise sustenance, while a small pouch of salt adds flavor to your provisions. Nearby, your rifle stands sentinel against a tree, and your axe, a masterpiece forged in sand, Louis, rests in the embrace of a stump, just as you left it the day before. In a museum in Wyoming, I once had the chance to hold one of those period axes. The curator shared a fascinating insight. These weren't merely tools. They represented a man's very existence in the wild. A mountain man would cradle his axe at night, unwilling to let it out of his grasp for fear of losing it to thieves. As the first light of dawn timidly breaks through the dense forest canopy, you find yourself tending to the embers of last night's fire. With careful hands, you add some tinder, shredded cedar bark, preserved dry in your bag. A gentle breath coaxes the sparks into a flicker of life. The tiny flame catches, growing stronger, and soon you have a comforting fire to warm your hands and prepare a humble breakfast of jerky and the remnants of cornmeal mixed with water. Isn't it wild? For these individuals, this wasn't just a camping trip. It was simply another Tuesday. They spent years in solitude, immersed in the wilderness. Can you picture going months without encountering another soul? I find myself feeling uneasy when my Wi-Fi is down for just an hour. With breakfast behind you, you seize your axe and stride to the edge of your clearing. Today is the day. You've already marked several straight lodgepole pines. Their perfect form and resilience to rot make them the ideal choice for cabin logs. In the heart of the mountains, an old man shared a timeless piece of wisdom with a curious journalist back in 1872. When it comes to building a cabin, choose your trees as you would choose a partner, straight, sturdy, and resilient enough to withstand the fiercest storms. As you draw near to the first tree, its trunk a robust 14 inches wide and towering nearly 100 feet into the sky, you inhale deeply. With the determined swing of your axe, you feel the gratifying impact as the blade bites into the bark. Splintered wood scatters around you as you carve a notch on the side that faces the path you wish the tree to take as it falls. Your arms ache from the toil, yet you press on, for there is no pause when winter approaches. Each swing of the axe is intentional, measured. You're not merely chopping wood, but engaging in a dialogue with the tree, deciphering its tilt, its equilibrium, grasping how it will descend. Imagine, if you will, standing solitary in an expansive wilderness. The weight of the moment hangs heavy. If that tree were to fall askew, if it were to snap back or land off course, there would be no one to rescue you, no sirens to echo through the trees, no hospital within 1,000 miles. One misstep, and you risk becoming just another forgotten soul lost to the wilds. I had a conversation with a wilderness survival expert, a master of historical techniques, and he shared something truly captivating with me. These men possessed an uncanny intuition for trees, able to decipher the delicate cues that foretold how a tree would descend. They understood the distribution of weight in the branches, the intricate twists of the grain, and even the influence of the wind upon it. It wasn't merely strength, it was a deep understanding of the very essence of the materials they engaged with. The notch deepens, reaching nearly a third of the way through the trunk. Now you shift to the opposite side, crafting a slightly higher cut with careful precision. This method, passed down through the ages by indigenous peoples and honed by countless skilled woodsmen, guarantees that the tree descends precisely in the desired direction. With a series of final, powerful swings, you hear it, the unmistakable crack that signals the tree is beginning to yield. With a swift retreat, your gaze locks onto the crown of the pine, watching as it dances, falters, and ultimately yields to the pool of the earth. The forest reverberates with the sound of a colossal crash, as 100 feet of pine come crashing down, sending flocks of birds fluttering away from their perches in the trees. The ground trembles underfoot while the invigorating aroma of freshly cut pine wafts through the atmosphere. One has fallen. Before the sun sets, you'll find yourself needing at least 20 more. Your weary form cries out for respite, yet the shadows gathering in the distance foretell a storm. The scent of snow dances in the air, a whisper of what's to come. Perhaps a mere 12 hours before the storm sweeps in, if fortune smiles upon you. And here lies a detail that many chronicles tend to overlook. Mountain men sought more than mere shelter for their own comfort. Your faithful steed stands close, nibbling at the grass, with a hint of unease as the breeze begins to stir. When the chill claims your steed, it's as if you have already begun to carve your own tomb. Without a horse, one found themselves tethered, unable to traverse the vast landscapes to carry traps or furs, and often left vulnerable, unable to escape the threats posed by hostile natives or lurking predators. In a tale from the 1840s, it was said that a wise trapper prioritizes the construction of his horse shelter before tending to his own needs. A lifeless trapper clings to his steed, while a living trapper, bereft of his mount, swiftly meets his end. Now you must carefully remove the branches from the fallen tree, shaping it into a clean, bare trunk. The axe sinks into the smaller limbs with ease, yet the larger branches demand a more delicate touch to prevent the blade from becoming ensnared. Every stroke should be executed with utmost precision. When every ounce of energy is precious, squandering it can lead to dire consequences, especially when you're expending thousands of calories daily just to stay alive. As the sun ascends, its warmth dances briefly in the air, while the wind stirs, ushering in the delicate descent of the first snowflakes. With swift precision, you peel away the layers of the tree, revealing a bare log beneath before turning your attention to the next pine marked for your task. As the sun reaches its zenith, your hands bear the marks of toil, raw and weary. Blood trickles from the fresh blisters, rendering the axe handle slick and the grip increasingly agonizing. Yet you persist, unable to cease. In the clearing, 3 great trees have fallen, their mighty trunks sprawl side by side. During my exploration, I stumbled upon a vivid tale from a mountain man named James Cleman, who recounted, "My hands bled so profusely from the axe that my log notches were filled with blood. As darkness enveloped the world, my fingers grew numb, yet I persisted in my relentless swinging. The other option was a grave, unceremonious and cold, waiting to be revealed by the thaw of spring. A rumble echoes from your belly, a gentle nudge that whispers of the morning's forgotten meal. With a brief interlude, you savor a piece of jerky and take a refreshing sip from the nearby spring. The water bites at your teeth, a sharp chill that sends a shiver through your bones, yet it invigorates you, urging you onward with renewed vigor. The following tree stands robust, its trunk measuring nearly 2 feet across. You trace the outline, contemplating the most effective method, and then you start to slice. Your muscles have discovered their cadence, and even through the ache, each swing lands with a skillful grace. Yet just when the tale seemed to unfold perfectly, calamity descends. With a sudden twist, the axe head, worn and weary from countless strikes, breaks free from its handle, soaring through the air before finding its resting place among the tangled underbrush several feet away. With a resigned sigh, you glance at the ineffectual wooden handle clutched in your hand. In this instance, it becomes clear that contemporary individuals often lack an understanding of what true adversity entails. On this day, you embark on a journey to Home Depot. Out here, this could truly spell doom. Your heart quickens as you delve into the tangled underbrush. Misplacing your axe at this moment would spell disaster. As you sink to your knees, your hands move with urgency, sweeping away the leaves and twigs, and then in that moment, the metal head catches the light, its dull gleam revealing itself in the soft filtered sunlight. A wave of relief washes over you, yet it quickly dissipates. It's time to bring it back together, and you must act swiftly. From your collection of possibilities, you retrieve a small roll of rawhide that has been patiently waiting for this moment. You immerse it in the cool water from your canteen, allowing it to soften, and then you begin your craft. Begin by gently molding the top of the handle to fit snugly into the axe head. Next, bring the pieces together, securing them with wet rawhide, wrapping it firmly around the connection. As the rawhide dries, it will contract, forging a connection that rivals the strength of iron. As you bide your time for it to set, your knife glides through the air, expertly limbing the fallen trees around you. Though it may be a slower and more painstaking endeavor, every moment is precious and must be seized without hesitation. I had the pleasure of speaking with a historical reenactor who specializes in mounted man skills. He shared with me that these men were not merely survivors, they were exceptional problem solvers. They were a blend of engineers, architects, doctors, hunters, weathermen, and warriors, all combined into one, wielding perhaps no more than 10 tools in their arsenal. After an hour's passage, the rawhide has dried sufficiently, allowing you to carefully continue your craft. The axe head rests firmly in place for the moment, yet it beckons for your attention from time to time. At first, each swing feels cautious, but before long, you find yourself returning to the familiar rhythm. As the hours pass, the count rises, 4 trees fall, then 5, and soon 6. The fading light casts your silhouette, elongated and graceful, across the clearing as the sun dips below the rugged peaks. The air grows colder with each passing moment, as the snowflakes begin to dance down from the sky, larger and more abundant than before. Your body has reached its breaking point, each muscle cries out for respite, blood has seeped through your buckskin gloves, and your vision wavers in the haze of fatigue. Yet, the rudimentary shelter of pine boughs that offered refuge last night will not suffice to see you through the trials that lie ahead. The sky above you deepens into shades of twilight. Just grant me until the dawn, you murmur, uncertain of your audience. Perhaps a divine presence, perhaps it is solely the mountains that hold the tale. With 7 towering pines brought down and stripped of their limbs, you now possess ample material to embark on the true journey of cabin construction. Tomorrow brings the promise of more cuts, yet the labor of today has bestowed upon you a glimmer of hope in this battle. As the shadows deepen, you gather your kindling and coax the flames to life, pushing through the weariness to nibble on more jerky, despite your appetite having flayed into the night. Every calorie will be essential for the toil that awaits you tomorrow. The wind whispers secrets among the trees, while snowflakes dance gracefully to the ground, marking the beginning of a winter tale. As you nestle into your blanket by the crackling fire, the reassuring weight of your axe rests just within reach. Sleep envelopes you swiftly, your body yielding to the weight of fatigue. Yet even in slumber, your mind remains active, strategizing for the tasks of the morrow, assessing your needs, envisioning how to notch the logs, elevate the walls, and construct the roof. For in this realm, even your dreams must be grounded in practicality to endure. In contrast to the snug embrace of your bed, where the mattress cradles you and the covers cocoon you in warmth, your slumber is but a fragile whisper, ever vigilant, poised to awaken at the slightest disturbance. The chilling cry of a mountain lion, the haunting howl of a wolf, or the more sinister sound of a grizzly's soft approach, lured by the unmistakable scent of humanity. And so, dear friends, we shall draw the curtain on our tale for this evening. Tomorrow, we shall witness whether our rugged hero can fortify those walls before the tempest unleashes its full fury. For the moment, allow the comforting embrace of your blankets to serve as a reminder of the journey we've traveled from those harrowing times when having a roof over our heads was a matter of survival. Picture this. As you gently slip into slumber, envision the weight of knowing that your very existence hinges on the creations you can forge with your own hands before the tempest descends. A shadow looms over the scene. Your eyes flutter awake, greeted by an enveloping void of darkness. In that fleeting instant, the surroundings slip from your mind, leaving you adrift in uncertainty. In that moment, memories flood in, the clearing, the fallen trees, the ominous storm drawing near. The flames have flickered out. That is what stirred you from your slumber. The chilling embrace of winter has arrived, infiltrating your woolen cocoon, finding its way deep into your very essence. You rise, each muscle protesting with a cacophony of discomfort. Your hands so rigid they resist your will. The blisters transformed into frozen scabs that split and bleed with every tentative movement of your fingers. The ground is cloaked in a thick layer of snow, a stark contrast to the delicate sprinkle that graced us just last night, now transformed into a robust 3 inches of winter's embrace. As you drifted into dreams, it descended quietly, a delicate veil of white enveloping the world around you. Your breath lingers in the crisp morning air, a delicate cloud of vapor that gradually fades into the dawn. The eastern sky remains cloaked in darkness, with no sign of dawn's arrival. Yet time is a luxury you cannot afford to squander in anticipation of the sun's ascent. Each hour of daylight holds a treasure now. I came across a tale from a trapper named William Anderson, who recounted his experience of awakening in comparable circumstances. My beard had become ensnared in the icy grip of my blanket. As I broke free, a tuft of whiskers came along with me. My saliva transformed into frost before it could touch the earth. Yet deep down, I understood that remaining still would leave me as rigid as a plank by dawn's first light. With weary fingers, you sift through the remnants of last night's blaze, hoping to uncover a glowing ember. In that moment, a subtle orange ember flickered softly beneath the blanket of white ash. With a tender touch, you cradle your precious bundle of tinder, the cedar bark snug against your chest, and position it over the glowing ember. You breathe softly, a steady rhythm, urging the spark to awaken and dance into flame. The flame ignites, a wisp of smoke curling upward from the kindling. You carefully place pencil-thin twigs, followed by slightly larger ones, constructing the fire with intention and precision. Fire embodies more than mere comfort in this wilderness. It is the essence of existence itself. As the flames dance higher, you find yourself standing, stamping your feet in a desperate attempt to coax warmth back into your frozen toes. Every joint in your body aches as if it were filled with shards of glass, each movement a reminder of the discomfort within. Yet here you stand, breathing and vibrant, and as long as you draw breath, the possibilities for creation are endless. As the flames dance higher, you take a moment to assess your provisions. The jerky is almost depleted, perhaps just 2 days' supply if you manage it wisely. Your powder lies dry, a blessing indeed, securely swathed in oiled cloth. The axe head remains steadfastly connected to its handle, a testament to small victories. You truly nestled into your boots, determined to shield them from the icy grip of the night. Wise choice, for damp leather turns to ice more solid than rock, and one cannot labor with feet as stiff as frozen blocks. You devour a strip of jerky, savoring its flavor, and take a refreshing sip from your canteen. The liquid within is a blend of ice and slush caught in a delicate balance of cold and fluidity. The forest lies in an eerie hush, its sound swallowed by the soft embrace of snow. The rhythm of your heart resonates in the silence, a gentle reminder of life itself. This is the stillness that drives men to converse with their own thoughts after enduring long months of solitude. All right, you whisper, your voice feeling unfamiliar after days of quietude. Time to embark on a journey. There was a saying among the mountain men. From the break of day to the fall of night will that axe, or come the bloom of spring, a bear will be leaving its mark upon your resting place. While it may not be poetry, it certainly conveyed the message effectively. Ah, the snow has woven a tapestry of complications. Before you can begin your work with the fallen logs, you'll have to clear them away. And as you seek out more trees to fell, it will require trudging through the snow to locate the perfect ones. Before anything else, it's essential to begin sifting through the logs you currently possess. Yesterday was a day of abundance, focused on gathering a sufficient number of trees to craft with. Today unfolds with meticulous care, transforming those logs into the very essence of a cabin that will sustain your spirit. With your trusty knife, You carve away a patch of snow, revealing the earth beneath, and with a charred stick in hand, you begin to etch a rough plane into the ground. Picture a cozy cabin, measuring about 10 feet by 12 feet, where a sleeping platform awaits, a warm fireplace flickers, and just enough space allows for a gentle dance of movement. To venture beyond this size would render efficient heating an elusive dream. As the first gray light of dawn weaves its way through the pines, you gather your tools and step toward the first log. In a perfect world, these logs would have the luxury of months to season, yet the relentless march of winter waits for no one. Embrace the challenge of working with green wood, for the journey of shrinkage will come in due time. To begin, peel away the bark. The bark, a guardian of the tree, cradles moisture within its layers and beckons insects to its textured embrace. It must be removed. With your trusty axe in hand, you embark on the journey of stripping the log, meticulously carving your way from one end to the other. The bark peels away in delightful pieces, unveiling the smooth, pristine wood hidden underneath. There was a time I ventured into a living history museum nestled in the heart of Colorado. The historians shared that many people are unaware that the process of debarking just one log can consume hours of time. These rugged individuals would dedicate countless days to the meticulous preparation of logs before they could embark on the grand endeavor of building. The task unfolds with a certain monotony, yet it carries a steady beat that guides the hands and mind alike. As you ease into the rhythmic dance of swing, scrape, move, your muscles awaken, and the sharpness of pain fades into a gentle, distant hum. As the sun rises over the eastern mountains, it spills forth long golden rays that dance through the trees, illuminating the world with a warm embrace. The snow sparkles as if 1,000 diamonds have been strewn across the ground, and in that fleeting moment, its beauty leaves you utterly speechless. Then a sudden breeze sweeps through your buckskins, a stark reminder that the allure of this place is merely death cloaked in a beautiful disguise. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, you've skillfully released 3 logs from their resting place. Your stomach rumbles, a low growl echoing in the silence, yet you choose to push it aside. There's no moment to savor a proper meal at this time. As you labor, you savor another strip of jerky, the resilient meat gradually yielding to your teeth, releasing its rich flavor with each bite. And now we arrive at the intriguing chapter, the art of notching. The corners of your cabin will embrace one another, held in harmony by meticulously crafted notches that intertwine the logs with a perfect fit. Should you falter in this task, your walls may become a patchwork of instability, inviting the chill of the wind and the bite of snow to intrude upon your space. You've encountered enough cabins to grasp the fundamental method, the saddle notch. It stands as the most straightforward and impactful solution for a solo endeavor. Carve a gentle curve near the end of each log, shaped perfectly to embrace the log that will settle upon it. Measuring holds great importance. You measure the dimensions once more, carefully placing stakes to mark each corner. Next, you carefully maneuver the first debarked log, placing it as the foundation for the north wall. Taking the time to mark the notch points requires thoughtful precision. With the axe handle resting firmly across the log, you draw a line, guiding your cuts with precision and care. 2 notches, one carved at each end, designed to embrace the logs of the east and west walls. With your trusty axe in hand, you begin to carve a tail into the wood, making a series of parallel cuts at the marked point, each one about 4 inches apart and 6 inches deep, as if etching a story into the very heart of the tree. Next, you carefully remove the wood nestled between the cuts, shaping a rugged trough in the process. This initial mark may lack beauty, yet it serves its purpose just fine. It simply requires a firm grip on the next log. As the sun ascends, it gently warms the landscape, causing the snow to slowly surrender to its embrace. Your back glistens with sweat, a stark contrast to the chill in the air, and you take moments to sip from the refreshing spring. The task unfolds with a deliberate pace, demanding precision and care. Every notch demands a minimum of 20 minutes spent in meticulous chopping. In a perfect world, these logs would have the luxury of months to season, yet the relentless march of winter waits for no one. Embrace the challenge of working with green wood, for the journey of shrinkage will come in due time. To begin, peel away the bark. The bark, a guardian of the tree, cradles moisture within its layers and beckons insects to its textured embrace. It must be removed. With your trusty axe in hand, you embark on the journey of stripping the log, meticulously carving your way from one end to the other. The bark peels away in delightful pieces, unveiling the smooth, pristine wood hidden underneath. There was a time I ventured into a living history museum nestled in the heart of Colorado. The historians shared that many people are unaware that the process of debarking just one log can consume hours of time. These rugged individuals would dedicate countless days to the meticulous preparation of logs before they could embark on the grand endeavor of building. The task unfolds with a certain monotony, yet it carries a steady beat that guides the hands and mind alike. As you ease into the rhythmic dance of swing, scrape, move, your muscles awaken, and the sharpness of pain fades into a gentle, distant hum. As the sun rises over the eastern mountains, it spills forth long golden rays that dance through the trees, illuminating the world with a warm embrace. The snow sparkles as if 1,000 diamonds have been strewn across the ground, and in that fleeting moment, its beauty leaves you utterly speechless. Then a sudden breeze sweeps through your buckskins, a stark reminder that the allure of this place is merely death cloaked in a beautiful disguise. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, you've skillfully released 3 logs from their resting place. Your stomach rumbles, a low growl echoing in the silence, yet you choose to push it aside. There's no moment to savor a proper meal at this time. As you labor, you savor another strip of jerky, the resilient meat gradually yielding to your teeth, releasing its rich flavor with each bite. And now we arrive at the intriguing chapter, the art of notching. The corners of your cabin will embrace one another, held in harmony by meticulously crafted notches that intertwine the logs with a perfect fit. Should you falter in this task, your walls may become a patchwork of instability, inviting the chill of the wind and the bite of snow to intrude upon your space. You've encountered enough cabins to grasp the fundamental method, the saddle notch. It stands as the most straightforward and impactful solution for a solo endeavor. Carve a gentle curve near the end of each log, shaped perfectly to embrace the log that will settle upon it. Measuring holds great importance. You measure the dimensions once more, carefully placing stakes to mark each corner. Next, you carefully maneuver the first debarked log, placing it as the foundation for the north wall. Taking the time to mark the notch points requires thoughtful precision. With the axe handle resting firmly across the log, you draw a line, guiding your cuts with precision and care. 2 notches, one carved at each end, designed to embrace the logs of the east and west walls. With your trusty axe in hand, you begin to carve a tail into the wood, making a series of parallel cuts at the marked point, each one about 4 inches apart and 6 inches deep, as if etching a story into the very heart of the tree. Next, you carefully remove the wood nestled between the cuts, shaping a rugged trough in the process. This initial mark may lack beauty, yet it serves its purpose just fine. It simply requires a firm grip on the next log. As the sun ascends, it gently warms the landscape, causing the snow to slowly surrender to its embrace. Your back glistens with sweat, a stark contrast to the chill in the air, and you take moments to sip from the refreshing spring. The task unfolds with a deliberate pace, demanding precision and care. Every notch demands a minimum of 20 minutes spent in meticulous chopping. Pause for a moment and allow me to weave a tale of the scene unfolding before us. In a quaint clearing, you find yourself embraced by the majestic presence of towering pines. The mountains loom ahead, majestic and blue, like ancient giants standing watch over the land. The pristine snow blankets the landscape, leaving untouched expanses save for the warm circle of your fire and the spots where your hands have toiled. The air you exhale forms a mist before your eyes. Your hands bear the marks of struggle, staining the pale wood with traces of crimson. Every few moments you pause to clear the sweat from your eyes, your sleeve already stiffened by the icy grip of perspiration. Above, a hawk glides gracefully, harnessing the warm air currents, perhaps pondering the curious antics of this peculiar biped wandering below. The air is filled with the rhythmic crunch of your axe meeting the timber, the weight of your breath echoing in the stillness, and now and then the haunting call of a wolf drifts through the trees. Here lies the true essence of solitude. Not a single hour passes without your phone, a true severance from the world of humanity. It's just you and the mountains, a vast expanse where the stakes are high, and the silence holds the weight of your solitude, knowing that if you falter, the world may never know your fate. As the sun reaches its zenith, you have skillfully arranged and secured the 4 base lugs, laying the very groundwork for your cabin. It begins to emerge, a humble rectangle etched upon the pristine snow, yet this is merely the beginning of your journey. More trees are essential. The 7 you cut down yesterday simply won't suffice. As you survey your progress, it becomes clear that you'll require at least 15 additional pieces for the walls, along with extra for the roof. As you make your way through the thick blanket of snow, the weight of the axe rests comfortably on your shoulder, your eyes scanning the landscape for the perfect trees to fell. Only the finest trees will suffice, those that stand tall and true, with a gentle taper and a robust girth of around a foot. Pines are the champions here, celebrated for their unwavering grain and innate ability to withstand the ravages of time. I had a conversation with a forestry expert who delved into the cabins crafted by mountain men, and he shared that these individuals were remarkably discerning. With a keen eye they surveyed the grove of 100 trees, effortlessly discerning the 5 that held the promise of being cut. They were not merely lumberjacks. They were artisans who possessed a profound understanding of their materials. Before you stands an ideal specimen, a lodgepole pine, measuring around 14 inches at its base, standing tall and straight, with only a handful of the branches gracing the lower trunk. With a keen eye you survey the landscape, ensuring the path below is unobstructed, and then you set to work, the sound of your axe ringing through the air. Ah, what a remarkable transformation you've undergone since yesterday. Your skill has truly blossomed. With deft precision, you carve the notch on the fall side, skillfully angling your cuts to form a perfect wedge. Next, you transition to the rear, executing a slightly elevated horizontal incision. As the wind whispers through the branches, the tree starts to creak, sharing its ancient secrets with the world around it. As you take a step back, your gaze fixates on the top, keenly observing for any hint of motion. In the hush of the air, a sudden crack pierces the silence. The pine embarks on its graceful plunge, gathering momentum as the branches whip through the air, creating a sound reminiscent of fabric being torn asunder. It lands precisely as you envisioned, smashing through the smaller trees that dare to stand in his way, ultimately settling with a thunderous thud that sends a cloud of snow swirling into the air. One chapter closed, countless adventures await. The day unfolds in a cadence, a dance of fall, limb, debark, and then it begins anew. Your body glides effortlessly as your thoughts wander freely. Imagine the cozy trading post along the Missouri, where the crackling fires dance and the scent of whiskey fills the air. One envisions St. Louis, alive with its vibrant energy, where the air is filled with the sounds of life and the sight of women adorned in calico dresses dances through the streets. It feels like a distant memory, a whisper of a dream that once danced in the light of day. In my possession lies a letter penned by a rugged mountain man addressed to his sister, residing in the distant east. At times, I find myself pondering whether the towns remain, or if they faded away like the gentle morning fog. The wilderness transforms civilization into a tale whispered in the past, a narrative that lingers in the air like a distant memory. As the sun reaches its zenith, you find yourself enriching your collection with 3 additional trees. Your hands have transcended pain, drifting into a realm of numb detachment. The crimson liquid has seeped through your gloves, rendering the axe handle tacky to the touch. The chill has faded into the background, only to be felt when the wind howls through the air. The sky is deepening into darkness once more, not merely signaling the arrival of evening, but hinting at the brewing of more tumultuous weather ahead. As the tempest approaches, thick dark clouds gather ominously from the northwest, weaving a tale of impending chaos. It seems you have just one more day before the storm arrives in all its might. Your gaze drifts once more to the cabin site. With the foundation set, it's time to reach for the heights ahead. This is the moment when the plot thickens. Hoisting the logs by oneself is a laborious endeavor that tests the limits of endurance. To ascend to the next level, you fashion a sloping ramp from smaller logs, crafting a rugged incline that leads up to the summit of the base logs. With great effort, you push the next log up the ramp, relying on your shoulder as the primary source of strength. The initial challenge comes close to overcoming you. As you ascend the ramp, the log suddenly shifts, teetering on the edge of disaster, threatening to roll back upon you. With a swift motion, you evade the impending doom, your heart racing as you witness the object plummet, shattering a section of your carefully crafted ramp. With a fierce growl, you lash out, your foot striking the snow in a fit of exasperation. I came across a tale from a trapper who recounted this very dilemma. Raising logs alone is a perilous journey. One misstep and 2,000 pounds of pine will break your back like a fragile twig. There was a man I encountered near Fort Hall, tragically flattened when his log unexpectedly rolled over him. We laid to rest the remnants of his being in a modest grave and shared out his belongings. That's the law of the wild. With careful hands you reconstruct the ramp, softening its incline and prepare to give it another go. In this moment you grasp a rope, skillfully looped around the log, guiding it with precision as you roll it upward. With each painstaking moment, the log inches its way upward, until at last it crests the ramp and finds its place nestled within the notches carved into the base logs. Triumph. One wall has risen to the height of 2 sturdy logs. The remainder of the afternoon unfolds in a haze of effort and exertion. As the last rays of the sunlight fade, you skillfully place another log on each wall. The chill of the evening creeps on and the wind stirs, sending sharp, icy flakes swirling against your skin. Your fingers resemble numb claws, while your lips are cracked and bleeding, a testament to the biting cold and relentless thirst. As you come to a halt, your legs tremble, threatening to give way beneath you. The cabin rises before you, a sturdy rectangle of logs reaching skyward, the first whispers of what will soon become your refuge from the approaching winter. Yet it remains a work in progress. At the pace you're moving, it seems you'll need 3 more days of toil before it can be considered even slightly livable. The inquiry at hand is whether the tempest will grant you that duration. You collect firewood, stacking armfuls of branches from the trees you brought down, and stoke your fire into a vibrant, crackling inferno. This evening promises to be chillier than the one before, and you'll want to gather every bit of warmth you can find. As you settle beside the crackling fire, you remove your gloves, revealing your hands for a closer look. They tell a tale of struggle, blisters upon blisters, some broken and seeping, others swollen with fluid, each one a chapter of discomfort and endurance. Your hands bear the marks of your journey, etched with the scars of bark and splinters. As you gently cascade a few drops of that invaluable water over them, the remnants of blood and grime begin to fade. You draw them near to the flickering flames, embracing the sharp sting that signals the return of sensation. Your body quakes with fatigue, while a relentless hunger tugs at your insides. You compel yourself to consume only a modest amount, just enough jerky to sustain your vigor. When that time comes, the hunt will begin, but let's save that tale for another day. As the shadows deepen and the night embraces the forest, you cocoon yourself in your blanket and nestle beside the flickering fire. The toil of the day has drained you, leaving little room for thoughts of comfort. Slumber envelops you in an instant, pulling you into the depths of darkness. Yet even in the realm of slumber, Your thoughts are tirelessly at work, unraveling challenges, orchestrating the tasks of the morrow, envisioning how to elevate the walls, how to shape the gable ends, how to craft a roof sturdy enough to withstand the burden of snow. In this realm, even the most whimsical of dreams must find their footing in reality. The mountains remain indifferent to your dreams and anxieties. They honor only the spirit of preparation and resilience. As you drift further into slumber, the snow starts to descend once more, quiet and unwavering, enveloping the fallen logs, your tools, and the whole clearing in a pristine shroud of white. In contrast to the cozy embrace of your current bed, adorned with plush pillows and a perfect climate, your slumber is tumultuous, teetering on the edge of wakefulness. With one ear attuned to the whispers of impending peril and one hand poised near your trusty rifle, you remain ever vigilant. Yet for the moment, you have triumphed over another day. In the wild expanse, that alone is triumph. The wall of logs is starting to take shape, a symbol of human resolve standing firm against the unyielding power of nature. Tomorrow unfolds with fresh trials, marking the most arduous phase of the construction journey. Yet for the moment, take a pause. Summon your courage. The cabin that lies between you and the abyss is beginning to take form. With each laborious log, a sound stirs you from your slumber. Neither the wind nor a creature, but something entirely different. You remain completely motionless, your eyes shut tight, attuned to the sounds around you. Once more, the unmistakable crunch of snow beneath a moccasin fills the air. A figure draws near to your camp, and instinctively, your hand glides to your rifle, fingers curling around the chill of the metal barrel. In this place, the warmth of camaraderie is a rare find among those who wander through. Perhaps it is the Blackfoot warriors, fierce and skilled, who have taken the lives of more than a few trappers in these rugged mountains. Or maybe it is the claim jumpers, lurking in the shadows, eager to snatch away what little you possess. There's even the possibility of a rogue grizzly, though one would expect them to be settling in for the winter by now. The footsteps come to a halt, and then a voice emerges, gravelly yet unmistakably human. "Greetings." The camp approaches with a warm demeanor. You rise gradually, your rifle at the ready but not yet aimed, inviting them to reveal themselves. From the shadows of the tree line, two figures step forth, their breath forming wispy clouds in the crisp morning air. Clad in buckskins, they carry rifles and axes, unmistakably trappers. One stands tall and lanky, a graying beard cascading to his chest, while the other, shorter and stockier, bears a face so rugged it seems hewn from the very mountains that surround them. "Name's Fitzgerald," says the tall one. "This here's Cooper. We spotted your smoke yesterday evening and thought we'd check if you were alive or dead. I've perused countless trapper journals, and this occurrence was more prevalent than one might imagine. In the expansive wilderness, trappers would occasionally venture to find one another, particularly as winter approached. There was strength in numbers, a sharing of skills, and truthfully, a longing to hear another human voice after enduring months of solitude. You ease your grip on the rifle, lowering it just a touch, yet keeping it within reach. In the mountains, trust is a rare commodity. What brings you lads to this neck of the woods?" Cooper sends a dark stream of tobacco juice cascading into the pristine snow. "Down by the creek, the beavers are plentiful, but that storm brewing is serious business. I noticed you were hard at work building, and I thought perhaps we could offer our assistance to speed things along. You observe them closely. Their equipment shows wear, yet it's well cared for, revealing no hint of desperation that could pose a threat. Honestly, a helping hand would be quite beneficial for you right now." "The coffee's ready if you'd like some," you say, gesturing toward the flickering fire, offering a warmth that serves as your version of a welcome. Isn't it amusing? I stumbled upon this letter in a historical archive, penned by a mountain man to his brother, who recounted meeting two gentlemen constructing a cabin near Yellowstone. They joined forces to raise the walls, all in exchange for coffee and a bit of banter. Curiously, neither party brought up the fact that they had nearly shot each other at dawn. some truths remain unspoken in these wilds. Fitzgerald and Cooper settle in by your fire, gratefully taking the tin cups of black coffee you present. The brew is bitter and robust, having been boiled repeatedly from the same grounds, yet it's hot. Out here, that's a luxury worth savoring. As the first light of dawn spills across the horizon, you take a moment to observe your new companions. Both men bear the rugged, weathered appearance of those who have braved many harsh winters in the high country. Their buckskins are a tapestry of patches and stains, their faces marked by the wind, etched with the stories of time. Yet their eyes shine with clarity and vigilance, the gaze of men who have honed the skill of sensing danger before it approaches. "That's a good start you got there," Fitzgerald remarks, nodding toward your half-built cabin. "But those walls need to rise higher before that storm truly sets in." Cooper grunts in agreement, suggesting that if everyone contributes, they can finish the task today. Though trust doesn't come easily to him, the need for survival outweighs his doubts. Together, 3 men can achieve in a day what would take 1 man 3 days to accomplish alone. "Ah, do you seek the instruments for our shared journey? You wonder." Cooper gives a reassuring pat to the axe that dangles from his belt, a trusty companion he never leaves behind. Fitzgerald, with his tall and lean stature, rises and declares, "Let's get to work. The daylight waits for no one." I had the opportunity to speak with an expert on frontier cooperation at the Wyoming Historical Society. She shared that these fleeting alliances were essential for survival. Men who would typically vie for trapping territory would unite to construct cabins, hunt, or fend off dangers, only to part ways afterward, often without ever discovering each other's true names. With the arrival of Fitzgerald and Cooper, the work begins to dance to a fresh beat. Fitzgerald, as it happens, has crafted quite a number of cabins throughout his life. He reveals to you a superior method for notching, which he refers to as the saddle notch. "Observe," he says, as he wields his axe with precision. "You don't want to slice directly across. Instead, you should curve it like this, allowing the log above to fit perfectly, shielding against the wind more effectively." His technique carves a gentle curve at the end of each log, a perfect embrace for the wood it holds. It's straightforward, yet powerful, a wisdom that can only be gleaned through lived moments. Cooper, with his robust and sturdy physique, skillfully orchestrates the art of log raising. He ingeniously crafts a lever system, employing smaller logs as fulcrums to elevate the hefty pine trunks into their rightful positions. Cooper picked up this wisdom from the French folks along the Mississippi, he claims, straining as he leans into the lever, lifting a log that would have consumed your time for hours to maneuver. Embrace the art of efficiency, letting your intellect guide your efforts rather than sheer toil. The morning unfolds in a whirlwind of synchronized action. Logs that once demanded an entire day to lift now ascend with ease every hour. The walls rise steadily, reaching 3 logs high, then 4. "Are you envisioning a cozy fireplace?" Fitzgerald inquires during a pause for refreshment. With a gesture, you indicate the east wall, your voice steady and clear. He decided to utilize the rocks from the creek bed and with a nod of approval, acknowledged the clever choice. It's time to close off the opening, sparing you the trouble of cutting it later. You've been so engrossed in raising the walls that the bigger picture slipped your mind. Indeed, he has a point. Constructing around the fireplace opening proves far simpler than attempting to slice through finished walls. Are you ready for a tale that will blow your mind? In the midst of an archaeological dig at a trapper cabin from the 1830s in Wyoming, the team uncovered a fascinating detail. The fireplace foundation was a tapestry of buffalo bones and elk antlers intertwined with the stones. The trapper crafted his tools from the resources at hand, weaving together a tale of ingenuity and survival. Shared tales of the resourcefulness found at the edge of civilization. As the sun reaches its zenith, a harmonious rhythm unfolds, Cooper skillfully fells and limbs while you deftly debark and rough notch. Meanwhile, Fitzgerald takes charge, executing the final notching and guiding the placement with precision. The cabin walls rise 5 logs high, towering over any man who might stand beside them. The sky deepens into darkness, and the wind whispers secrets, bringing with it the crisp scent of impending snow. Soft plump flakes start to drift down, hesitantly at first, then with a graceful persistence. She approaches more swiftly than I anticipated, Cooper remarks, casting a worried glance at the sky. Fitzgerald nods with a somber expression. Time is slipping away, with perhaps only 5 hours of daylight remaining. We must raise the walls to their full height and begin the roof, or else all our efforts will be in vain. The introduction of a roof unveils a fresh obstacle. Your attention has been so consumed by the walls that the intricacies of the roof structure have yet to be fully envisioned. Crafting a well-angled roof involves the careful placement of rafters, beams, and intricate notching that surpasses the simplicity of the walls. "Have you ever crafted a roof before?" Fitzgerald inquires, as if he can sense the very thoughts swirling in your mind. You shake your head, first cabin, and he lets a glob of spit land in the snow. "Ah, you've chosen quite the moment to embark on this journey, but fear not. We'll guide you through it all." As the afternoon unfolds, the snowfall grows heavier, and you press on, dismissing the chill and dampness. Your hands, already battered from days of toil, start to bleed anew, yet you hardly register the pain. All that exists is the task at hand, the upcoming log, the next notch to carve, the following section of the wall to build. Cooper takes a moment to savor another plug of tobacco, his gaze thoughtfully scanning the walls around him. We shall require a sturdy ridge beam, something robust, with rafters gracefully descending from it. Fitzgerald gestures toward a towering upright pine at the clearing's edge, suggesting the particular one would serve well as a fine ridge, must extend beyond the length of the cabin. The 3 of you approach the grand pine, its trunk a formidable 2 feet thick at the base. Cooper and Fitzgerald join forces, each taking a side, and within mere minutes the mighty tree succumbs, a feat that would have taken you an hour on your own. "And now we arrive at the challenging moment," Fitzgerald remarks, brushing away the beads of sweat from his forehead, even in the chill of the air. "We must hoist this hefty fellow up onto those walls." During my week with a team dedicated to historical reconstruction in Montana, I was captivated by their insights into how mountain men tackled this challenge. With a blend of sheer strength and the laws of nature, the expert recounted how they crafted what is known as a dead man, a log firmly buried at a right angle to the cabin, serving as a steadfast anchor for their ropes and levers, all without the aid of cranes or pulleys. The task at hand was fraught with peril. Cooper gazes over the landscape, his finger tracing a path to a location roughly 20 feet from the cabin. We carve out a space in the earth, nestling a log halfway down as our steadfast anchor. With ropes in hand, we guide the ridge beam skyward, lending our strength from below to elevate it into place. It's a clever approach, albeit one that requires considerable effort. The 3 of you dedicate the next hour to unearthing the frozen earth, crafting the anchor point, and meticulously assembling the lifting system. With a grunt, Cooper swings his axe, but the blade meets resistance as it bounces off the unforgiving frozen ground. "I assume your familiarity with the hearts of those in the trade is quite profound." Fitzgerald responds with a hint of sarcasm. Cooper casts a sharp look his way, then bursts into laughter, a gritty, unrefined sound, as if it rarely escapes his lips. "More on yours, you lean rascal." This playful exchange, greedy as it may be, stirs a memory of something you've longed for in your solitude, an authentic bond with another soul. Even this rough humor serves as a soothing remedy for the spirit after enduring weeks of quietude. With the anchor firmly in place, you embark on the perilous journey of lifting the ridge beam. Cooper and Fitzgerald have woven together a rough rope from rawhide strips, skillfully looping it around the sturdy log. With determination, you find your place at the base, poised to propel yourself upward, as they expertly manage the descent from the anchor point above. At the count of 3, Fitzgerald makes the call. Once, twice, thrice. With every ounce of strength, you strain against the weight, your muscles protesting as the colossal log stirs to life. Slowly, painfully, the ridge beam ascends, each inch a testament to the struggle. Your focus sharpens, honing in on this singular task, this very moment. All that remains is the searing ache in your shoulders and back, the coarse texture of the bark beneath your hands, and the urgent drive to push the log higher. Steady now, Cooper calls out as the beam dances ever so slightly. Hold it steady. A log of this magnitude, if it were to roll at this moment, would obliterate anyone unfortunate enough to be in its way. A wave of renewed vigor courses through your weary form at the mere thought. At long last, after what feels like an eternity, the ridge beam ascends to the pinnacle of the walls. With a deft touch and a shared understanding, the 3 of you guide it into place along the heart of the cabin. Hold it there, Fitzgerald calls, his voice echoing as he deftly scales the walls with an unexpected grace for someone of his years. With swift hands, he binds the beam in place using rawhide strips, ensuring it holds firm for now, awaiting the moment it can be expertly notched and secured for good. The sky deepens into shadow, a canvas painted by the encroaching night and the brewing tempest. As the snow descends gently, it blankets your shoulders and head, a soft companion to your toil. We must raise those rafters before the night fully descends, Cooper declares, already setting to work on the smaller logs that will create the skeleton of the roof. In a whirlwind of effort and speed, you've pushed yourself beyond any limits you've known before. Under Fitzgerald's guidance, you and Cooper carefully cut and arrange the rafters, logs roughly 6 inches in diameter that stretch from the ridge beam down to the tops of the walls at a graceful angle, creating the elegant framework of the pitched roof. Every rafter needs to be carefully notched at both ends, at the ridge beam and the wall top, to prevent any sliding. This meticulous task becomes increasingly challenging as the light dims and the weather takes a turn for the worse. Once I inquired of a historian about the ways in which these men labored under such challenging circumstances. He shared with me that they couldn't afford the luxury of waiting for favorable weather. When a storm approached and shelter was nowhere to be found, one had to brave the elements, snow, sleet, and all that nature unleashed. Those who faltered in the face of such trials often faded away, leaving no stories behind to share. As the shadows deepen and night approaches, you find yourself with the essential framework established, the ridge beam and rafters creating a robust A-frame. While it's not entirely finished, with cross pieces and the covering still needed, it's sufficient for you to wrap it up by tomorrow, even if the snow falls heavily. That'll hold for tonight, Fitzgerald remarks, his gaze sweeping over your efforts, a clear sense of contentment in his expression. It may not be fully adorned yet, but it shall shield against the fiercest of the snow's embrace. Cooper has ignited a fire within the rustic embrace of the cabin's earthen floor. Though the chimney remains a work in progress, the smoke dances in the upper reaches of the space, offering a sense of shelter from the harshness of the outside world. He concedes it may become a touch smoky, yet it's a far better fate than being frozen solid. Within the walls of the half-finished structure, the 3 of you gather closely, sharing a flask that Cooper pulls from the depths of his buckskins. The amber liquid ignites a fiery trail as it descends, yet it unfurls a comforting warmth throughout your weary frame. Not bad for a day's work, Fitzgerald muses, gazing up at the roof framework outlined against the deepening twilight. Snow gently descends through the rafters, succumbing to the warmth of the flickering fire below. It would have taken me days, on my own you confess, savoring another small sip of whiskey before returning the flask. Cooper gives a nonchalant shrug. A solitary figure stands amidst the vastness, biding time until the inevitable comes calling. It defies the essence of nature. His words carry a profound truth. Even the most rugged mountain men, with their fierce independence, cannot escape the truth that humans are inherently social beings. prolonged solitude can gradually erode even the most resilient soul. I came across an intriguing letter penned by a trapper to his beloved wife back east. Today, 3 unexpected companions joined me in the creation of my winter cabin. Tomorrow, they will vanish into the ether, and I might never lay eyes on them again. Yet, for a fleeting moment, I recall the essence of belonging to humanity, rather than merely existing as a lone creature amidst these towering peaks. As darkness envelops the world, the tempest grows fiercer. The wind wails through the unfinished roof, yet the sturdy walls shield against its fiercest gusts. The flickering flames create a ballet of shadows upon the log walls, and at long last, after weeks of uncertainty, a sense of safety envelops you. Do you have a name to share? At last Fitzgerald speaks, shattering the stillness that had lingered in the air. Share your tale with them. Well, he remarks, you've chosen quite the remarkable place for your inaugural cabin. Pure waters flow, sturdy trees stand tall, and a shield against the northern gusts offers comfort. There's a chance you could weather the winter ahead. When it comes from a seasoned mountain man, it carries great weight. Cooper has retrieved some dried venison, its texture tougher, and its color darker than the jerky you know. With a deft hand, he slices 3 uneven pieces, distributing them among those gathered. It's akin to gnawing on tube leather, yet there's a peculiar delight in savoring food that you didn't have to source yourself, lending it an unexpected flavor that enhances the experience. He remarks between bites that the storm will soon pass, perhaps in a day or 2. Tomorrow, we shall ensure that the roof is securely covered, and if fortune allows, we might even embark on the journey of your fireplace. What compels you to offer your assistance to me? The inquiry escapes your lips before you have a chance to hold it back. Fitzgerald and Cooper share a knowing look, a silent conversation passing between them. It is Cooper who responds. The same motivation that drives anyone in this place. Personal motivation. He savors another bite of the rich venison. Next time, it could very well be us in need of assistance. The manner in which it operates. Fitzgerald gives a knowing nod. Whispers of the mountains. Today, you embark on a journey. Tomorrow, it shall be me. It's both straightforward and intricate all at once. In this realm, where the specter of death looms with every misstep, working together transcends mere kindness. It becomes a safeguard for survival. The flames dance and crackle, releasing a flurry of sparks that soar toward the exposed beams above. Beyond the threshold, the familiar landscape has been swallowed by a mesmerizing dance of white, where snow and shadows intertwine in an enchanting embrace. Yet within these 4 walls, crafted by your own hands, there lies warmth, nourishment, and for this evening, a sense of togetherness. It dawns on you that the crimson flow has ceased from your hands. The relentless toil has forged a resilience within them, allowing the splits and blisters to begin their journey of healing. A delightful triumph, however modest. As weariness gently beckons you into the realm of dreams, your gaze sweeps across the tapestry of your achievements. Just days ago, these logs stood tall as living trees, swaying gently in the breeze. Now they mark the dawn of a new home, a stronghold standing resolute against the harsh winter that looms on the horizon. Fitzgerald and Cooper lie nestled in their blankets, the soft sounds of their snores mingling with the crackling of the fire, each on their own side, lost in dreams. Tomorrow shall unfold with yet another day of arduous toil. Yet this evening, for the very first time, you find rest within the confines of your own creation. In stark contrast to your snug contemporary sanctuary, where a mere press of a button regulates the temperature, this place demands the constant attention of feeding the fire through the long dark hours of the night. The haze envelops you, stinging your eyes and constricting your breath. The earth remains unyielding beneath your feet, yet the walls shield you from the biting wind, while the rafters cradle the falling snowflakes, creating a delicate dance above. It may not align with contemporary notions of comfort, yet in the wild it stands as the crucial line between survival and demise. As slumber gently embraces you, a single thought dances in your mind. It seems I may just weather this winter after all. On that tempestuous night, while the storm howls beyond the walls and the embers flicker softly, your mind wanders not to the trappings of society, but to the vision of your cabin, fully realized, with a sturdy roof overhead, a welcoming stone fireplace, and perhaps a rustic table and chair to complete the scene. The vision is not about fleeing the wild, but about conquering it one log at a time. A sudden splash of cold moisture greets your skin. You suddenly awaken, confusion swirling around you. A solitary droplet descends, tracing a path down your forehead as the remnants of snow cascade through the gaps in the unfinished roof above. The fire has dwindled to glowing embers, enveloping the cabin in a soft, flickering red light. Outside, the wind wails with a fierce intensity, as if it were a creature frustrated by its confinement. Cooper and Fitzgerald have risen, gathered closely around the remnants of the fire. Cooper gently prods the glowing coals with a stick, urging them to awaken, as Fitzgerald carefully adds small fragments of kindling to the mix. As dawn breaks, Fitzgerald observes your awakening with a knowing glance. Hope you weren't counting on a lazy morning. Cooper lets out a low grunt. The tempest intensifies, there are tales to weave and journeys to embark upon. You rise, each fiber of your being protesting with a cacophony of discomfort. Even with the refuge around you, a chill seeps into your bones, and the dampness clings to your skin. The roof, still a work in progress, allowed the night snowfall to blanket the world below in a delicate layer of white. It seems we find ourselves in need of the roof to be completed today, a fact that is quite clear to all involved. Fitzgerald gives a knowing nod. Ah, that fireplace. We must find a way to stop the flames from dancing upon the earth beneath us. The smoke lingers, trapped in its own swirling dance, with no escape in sight. The cabin is shrouded in a thick haze of smoke, its acrid tendrils stinging your eyes and leaving your throat feeling raw and scratchy. A well-crafted chimney would whisk it away, yet that entails stonework, a craft you've yet to conquer. At the Montana Historical Society, I delved into the pages of a trapper's journal from the 1830s. Once upon a time, a fellow crafted my fireplace not once, but twice. Initially, the smoke was so overwhelming that I felt as though I might choke. I dismantled it and began anew, crafting a taller chimney and a narrower throat. The second one unfolded beautifully. Discovered the truth through experience, much like all the other lessons life has to offer in this world. You savor the final bite of your jerky for breakfast, washing it down with steaming melted snow, warmed by the flickering flames of the rekindled fire. Cooper crafts an abundance of dried venison from his pack, offering it freely, his actions speaking volumes without a single word. The meat presents a challenge to the teeth, yet it offers sustenance for the body. Fitzgerald, in the midst of his journey, carefully takes out a small pouch of parched corn, blending it with hot water to create a humble porridge, a simple yet nourishing meal. With a warm smile, he extends a spoonful towards you, and you receive it with heartfelt gratitude. Once the roof is secured, Cooper remarks between mouthfuls, "I'll do my best to bring us some fresh meat, spotty traces of deer near the gentle flow of the creek." "Good," Fitzgerald replies, "a man can't survive on jerky alone, not in this chill." With a satisfying meal in your belly and the comforting glow of the fire surrounding you, everyone readies themselves for the tasks that lie ahead. Ah, the tempest has truly grown in ferocity as the night has unfolded. As you gently nudge aside the improvised door, merely a canvas draped over the entrance, a vast expanse of white greets you, enveloping your senses. As the snow descends in a thick swirling dance, the trees at the edge of the clearing fade into a ghostly blur, their forms nearly swallowed by the white cascade. "Goodness," you whisper, retreating your head back into the safety of your space. Cooper gazes beyond you, having witnessed greater horrors, yet not by much. "First the roof," Fitzgerald declares with conviction, followed by the fireplace. "With a touch of fortune, we shall see both completed by the time the sun dips below the horizon." In the heart of winter, you found yourself enveloped by the mountains, accompanied solely by a history book and a journal, each page whispering tales of the past. I came across a tale from a mountain man named Osborne Russell, who shared that the most challenging aspect of winter isn't the biting cold or the gnawing hunger, but rather the profound silence. In moments of solitude, you find yourself engaging in conversation with your own thoughts, seeking the comfort of a familiar voice echoing in the silence. As February rolls in, you find yourself deep in dialogue with your rifle. Venturing beyond the threshold feels akin to crossing into a realm of wonder. In certain spots, the snow rises to the knees, sculpted by the whispers of the wind. The chill slices through your buckskins as if wielded by a sharp blade. Yet, a task awaits, and only the three of you can rise to the occasion. The initial task at hand is to secure the roof. The rafters stand ready, awaiting the embrace of crosspieces and a protective waterproof layer to complete their purpose. With a wave of his hand, Fitzgerald points to the smaller logs that await your careful touch for the crosspieces. We shall place them gently upon the rafters and then drape the entire structure with bark or branches, weaving nature into our creation. Cooper strides purposefully toward a cluster of youthful trees that stand at the boundary of the clearing. These saplings shall suffice. Direct, adaptable, armed with axes, you and Cooper set to work, bringing down the smaller trees, each no thicker than 6 inches in diameter. They descend effortlessly, needing only a few gentle touches each. Fitzgerald, in the midst of his work, starts to peel away the expansive sheets of bark from the logs you once brought down, yet remain untouched. With a steady hand, he skillfully maneuvers his axe beneath the robust outer layer of a fallen trunk, sharing that pine bark can serve as a reliable roof when the need arises. Strip it away in large layers, layering them like shingles on a roof. It may not endure for eternity, yet it shall shield against the snow until the arrival of spring. In a captivating conversation with a wilderness survival expert, a master of historical techniques, I learned that bark roofing was a prevalent practice among the mountain men of yore. They would often rely on the resources at hand, whether it be pine, spruce, or cedar. The art lay in removing it in the broadest sheets imaginable, layering them from the base upwards, reminiscent of contemporary shingles. Under arid circumstances, these roofs have the potential to endure for multiple seasons. Laboring in the thickening snow is truly wearisome. Your boots squelch with each step, fingers tingling with the cold despite the protection of your gloves. Yet the three of you find a steady cadence in the storm. Cooper weaves his magic. You carry the weight. Fitzgerald finds the perfect spot. As the sun reaches its zenith, you find yourself having meticulously placed all the purlins, the slender logs that stretch horizontally across the rafters, forming a sturdy framework for the bark that will soon envelop it. Now we embark on the journey of raising the sheets of bark high onto the roof. The challenge unfolds, for the bark carries an unexpected weight, particularly when adorned with a blanket of snow. It shatters with a mere twist beyond its limits. Take heed, Fitzgerald warns, as you wrestle with the weight of a hefty piece. We don't have time to peel anymore. Cooper weaves together smaller logs, binding them with rawhide strips to create a rudimentary ladder. With this, Fitzgerald can ascend while you and Cooper hand up the bark sheets. The journey unfolds with a deliberate pace, fraught with uncertainty. Fitzgerald teeters on the rafters and purlins. He stands precarious on the ice-kissed timber. One misstep could send him tumbling down to the cabin floor, a perilous 8 feet beneath him. "Hand me that large piece," he calls out, pointing to a sheet of bark that stretches nearly 6 feet long. With a shared effort, you and Cooper hoist it up, battling its cumbersome weight and the fierce wind that relentlessly tries to wrest it from your hold. Fitzgerald bends low from the edge of the roof, his fingers reaching out to touch the rough bark. In a breathtaking instant, he loses his footing, one foot gliding perilously off the purlin. He leans back, teetering on the edge, just managing to regain his balance. He lets out a sharp exclamation, catching his breath as he steadies himself. Cooper gives a slow, deliberate shake of his head. "I warned you. that roof work might not be for someone of your age. And I told you to kiss my arse. Fitzgerald replies with a sharp wit, yet his words lack genuine warmth. It is evident that these men share a history of collaboration. I stumbled upon a memoir penned by a trapper named William Hamilton, who recounted a harrowing near miss while constructing a cabin. As I lost my grip on the roof beam, I found myself suspended by one arm, hanging 20 feet above the ground, convinced that I was destined for something extraordinary. Jenkins seized my wrist and yanked me back up as if I were as light as a feather. He never spoke of it again, silently anticipating that I would do the same when his moment arrived. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, a transformation unfolds. By early afternoon, half the roof is adorned with its new covering. The layers of bark may not be visually appealing, yet they serve a purpose with remarkable efficiency. In the places where the bark falls short of a perfect fit, Fitzgerald artfully fills the voids with moss and pine needles, crafting a natural barrier that promises to trap warmth within and keep the snow at bay. As Fitzgerald toils away on the roof, you and Cooper shift your focus to the fireplace, where stories await to be kindled. In the grand tapestry of the cabin, this element stands out as the most vital thread. In these mountains, the chill of winter can be unforgiving, and without the warmth to fend it off, survival becomes a daunting tale of peril. On the east wall, an opening of roughly 4 feet has been crafted, bordered by shorter logs that have been meticulously shaped for this very purpose. Here lies the hearth and its towering chimney. "We need rocks," Cooper declares, making his way to the creek that flows roughly 50 yards from the cabin site, large pieces for the foundation and petite ones for the flue. As you tread behind him, the two of you make your way through the thick blanket of snow, each step a testament to your journey. The creek lies in a delicate balance, its edges adorned with a shimmering layer of ice, while the heart of it rushes on, dark and swift, whispering secrets of the depths below. Along the river's edge, smooth stones of all shapes and sizes lie partially hidden beneath a blanket of snow. Cooper gestures toward the grandest of them all. "We shall begin with them and weave the tale from that point onward. Behold, the formidable rocks, each one a testament to nature's might, some tipping the scales at over 100 pounds. With your hands, you unearth them from the blanket of snow, then gently guide them up the gentle slope toward the cabin. The toil is relentless, compounded by the biting chill and the treacherous grip of the deep snow beneath one's feet. As you collect the stones for the foundation, your hands bear the marks of your labor, raw and bleeding, even with the protection of your gloves. Yet the journey calls, and there's no moment to pause. Cooper is meticulously positioning the grandest stones in a graceful semicircle, embracing the eastern wall's opening. As he surveys the surroundings, he declares, "We'll need mud for mortar." The ground lies beneath a frozen veil, still and silent. One could transform the snow into a blend with the earth from the cabin's floor. Share your thoughts. With a knowing nod, he expresses his approval. "That will do just fine. Do you have any clay within reach?" While clay would serve as a superior mortar compared to mere mud, your journey through the area has yet to reveal any signs of it. "I wouldn't say that." "Then dirt it shall be," Cooper remarks with a practical nod. Perhaps a sprinkle of pine needles would serve well for binding. In the days of yore, my father would engage in that very practice down in Kentucky. Have you ever considered what's truly astonishing? Once upon a time I stumbled upon a letter penned by a settler, vividly recounting the scene of a trapper's fireplace. In a curious twist of fate, the enigmatic figure blended deer blood into his earthy concoction of mud mortar. It was said to have made it set harder. Be it fact or mere folklore, I cannot declare. Yet that fireplace remained steadfast as the rest of the cabin succumbed to the passage of time. As Cooper meticulously places the base stones, you embark on a quest to gather dirt from the cabin floor, carefully scraping away the surface layer to unveil the unfrozen soil hidden beneath. As you place a pot filled with snow beside the flickering flames of the small fire, you watch as the cold transforms into warm, glistening water. The tempest rages on, relentless and unyielding. The wind whips the snow across the landscape, swirling it in a dance, while the chill in the air deepens with each passing moment. Your breath turns to frost in your beard, tiny ice crystals dancing and chiming softly with each turn of your head. With a steady hand and a keen eye, Fitzgerald has almost completed the roof, diligently moving from one end to the other, ensuring each bark sheet gracefully overlaps the next. In the face of adversity, his craftsmanship shines, a testament to the countless hours spent honing his skill. "Nearly finished up here," he shouts down. "How goes the tale of the fireplace's creation?" As he chisels away, Cooper responds, his focus unwavering from the stone before him. As the melted snow intertwines with the earth, it transforms into a rich, gooey mud that clings to everything it touches. Heeding Cooper's advice, you take a handful of pine needles and with a stick in hand, begin to stir them in with care. The concoction may not be visually appealing, yet it binds firmly when you apply pressure. "That'll do," Cooper remarks as you present it to him. With a deft hand, he gathers a handful and starts to press it between the stones, crafting a rough yet functional mortar. As the scene unfolds, the foundation of the fireplace emerges, a graceful semicircle crafted from substantial, flat stones that reach out approximately 2 feet into the cozy cabin. With this strong base, Cooper starts to ascend, carefully selecting smaller stones as he goes higher. He describes the necessity of a robust, profound firebox. The warmth dances off the back wall, spilling into the cabin, yet it remains too fleeting as all your heat escapes up the chimney. In my conversation with a specialist in historical reconstruction, I learned that the angle of the firebox held significant importance. Through the rugged trials of their lives, the mountain men discovered, often by the lessons of experience, that the back wall should gently lean forward as it ascends. This brings a greater warmth into the space. It's a timeless concept that continues to inspire contemporary fireplace design. As the afternoon unfolds, your tasks begin to flow in a harmonious cadence. With each stone, Cooper carefully constructs the fireplace, weaving a tale of craftsmanship and dedication. With a steady hand, you blend the mud mortar, then venture to the creek to gather more stones, each one a vital piece of the tale you are crafting. Fitzgerald finishes the roof covering and sets to work on a sturdy door, crafted from split logs bound together with rawhide, embodying both simplicity and strength. The toil of your hands brings a fleeting warmth, a brief respite from the biting cold, yet each moment of stillness invites the icy tendrils to creep back into your very core. Your feet have turned into frozen blocks within your damp boots, and your fingers are so numb that the stones you grasp feel almost like distant memories. "How long have you been wandering these parts?" Cooper interjects unexpectedly, shattering the stillness that had lingered for some time. 3 months, you respond. "In the warm embrace of August, I journeyed forth from Fort Union." With a subtle nod, he acknowledges the moment. Ah, the inaugural embrace of winter. In these majestic mountains indeed. Cooper and Fitzgerald share a look that conveys a world of meaning. The initial winters are the times when many souls meet their end. "You're doing quite well," Fitzgerald remarks, a statement that carries a weight of commendation from him. "Found a prime location, constructing something sturdy." The endorsement from these seasoned mountain men carries a weight that you might not want to acknowledge. I stumbled upon a journal entry penned by a novice trapper in their first year. "Oldham and Birch came by to examine my cabin today. I half expected them to chuckle at my rough handiwork, but Oldham simply nodded and remarked, 'You'll manage.' To receive such words from him felt akin to a prestigious accolade from a governor. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, the flames in the fireplace dance and flicker, rising to meet the very height of the walls. And now we arrive at the intriguing challenge, the chimney. It must rise above the roofline and be crafted with precision, or else the cabin will be engulfed in smoke. Cooper constructs a makeshift scaffolding against the east wall, enabling him to rise higher in his endeavor. As the chimney ascends, it tightens, compelling the smoke to quicken its pace and flow more freely. He explains that if it's made too wide, the smoke won't rise properly. It's too narrow, it will become blocked with creosote and ignite. Within the confines of the firebox, you carefully arrange the flattest stones at your disposal, crafting a surface that promises to cradle the flames and radiate warmth with remarkable efficiency. The back wall leans in gently, adhering to Cooper's guidance. As the sun dips below the horizon, much sooner than one would hope for this season, Fitzgerald finishes crafting the door and suspends it on leather hinges. Though the task is challenging, it moves with ease and, above all, will shield against the biting wind and chill. In a hushed tone, he murmurs about the need for a latch, his gaze sweeping the surroundings in search of the perfect material. "Will this work?" you inquire, presenting a piece of antler you've held onto, a fortunate discovery from the autumn days gone by. Fitzgerald studies it intently, then gives a thoughtful nod. Absolutely splendid. With deft hands, he skillfully shapes a straightforward yet ingenious latch mechanism using his knife. With a gentle twist, the antler piece glides on its wooden peg, settling into a notch that firmly locks the door in place. Outside, Cooper has completed the work on the chimney. It ascends gracefully, reaching a height of 3 feet above the roofline, adorned with a rugged crown of flat stones designed to fend off the harshest snow, yet permitting the smoke to drift freely into the sky. "At last, the moment has arrived," he declares, as he descends from his lofty perch. Within the cozy confines, you tenderly arrange kindling in the new fireplace, starting small to allow the mud mortar to cure slowly and surely. All three of you stand on the edge of your seats, hearts racing, as the flames begin to dance and flicker to life. In an instant, a thick cloud of smoke fills the cabin, and a wave of dread washes over you. As the flames dance higher, the smoke rises gracefully, carried aloft by the gentle pull of the well-crafted chimney. "There she goes," Fitzgerald remarks with a sense of fulfillment as the smoke gracefully ascends the chimney, allowing the cabin air to breathe freely for the first time. It's a victory, modest when viewed against the vast tapestry of life, yet monumental in the context of your present journey. Within your shelter, sturdy walls stand firm against the howling winds. A protective roof shields you from the falling snow, and a welcoming fireplace offers warmth and the promise of nourishing meals. Cooper's face lights up with a smile, the kind that feels like a rare gem, shining brightly for the first time. "Do you think we've truly earned our evening meal?" As the warmth of the new fireplace envelops the cabin, Cooper ventures out to inspect the snares he had carefully placed earlier by the creek. He arrives back within the hour, cloaked in snow yet brimming with triumph, bearing a pair of snowshoe hares. "Behold, fresh meat," he proclaims, proudly displaying his hard-won treasure. The thought of indulging in something beyond jerky and dried venison is truly exhilarating. Your senses come alive as Cooper skillfully prepares the hares, deftly skinning and cleaning them before skewering them on green sticks to roast over the crackling fire. The scent that envelops the cabin is enchanting, deep, untamed, and deeply fulfilling. As the three of you gather around the flickering flames, the savory aroma of meat browning fills the air, with fat cascading and sizzling upon the heated stones beneath. Once the hares have been prepared, Cooper skillfully portions them with his knife, a leg and a generous slice of back meat for each of you. With no plates in sight, you dive in with your fingers, the sizzling savory meat igniting your taste buds and leaving a fiery trail on your tongue as you indulge in your hunger. It's a feast that dances on your palate, a culinary delight that has been absent from your life for far too long. A letter from a rugged mountain man to his sister in the distant east caught my attention. "You would find it amusing to witness our dining antics, Eliza. Without fine china or gleaming silver and lacking even a simple table, we were just three rugged souls huddled by the flickering flames. Grease dripped from our beards as we tore into the meat, gnawing at the bones like wild wolves. And yet I assure you, no extravagant feast in Saint Louis could ever compare to the exquisite flavor of fresh rabbit enjoyed in a cabin crafted by your own hands. Outside, the tempest has reached its crescendo. The wind howls fiercely around the edges of the cabin, probing for vulnerabilities, yet discovering only a handful. A few delicate flakes of snow still find their way through the bark roof in certain spots, but it's a mere whisper compared to the stark openness of the nights that came before. The fireplace emanates a warm, inviting glow, casting away the lingering chill that clings to the cozy nook. At long last, as you traverse these majestic mountains, a sense of security begins to envelop you, a feeling that has eluded you until now. Fitzgerald retrieves his tobacco pouch, extending it to those nearby with the gesture of camaraderie. You and Cooper each take a small pinch, relishing the exquisite moment together. In the warm glow of the flames, the three of you share a moment of quiet camaraderie, the smoke curling around you as you gaze into the flickering embers. "So, are you lads planning to return to your camp tomorrow?" you inquire at last. Cooper casts a quick look at Fitzgerald, who merely shrugs in response. The storm may linger for yet another day. There's no need to struggle against it if we can avoid it. I could lend a hand to wrap things up in here. A simple floor, a cozy sleeping platform, perhaps a few shelves, just the essentials. The offer is quite generous, particularly coming from those who have their own winter preparations to consider. "Ah, but such is the nature of life in these parts. Today it's your turn. Tomorrow it will be mine." With a nod of gratitude, you express your thanks in a straightforward manner. As the night deepens and the fire flickers softly, you prepare your resting place for the hours ahead. The earth beneath my feet remains firm, yet it has transformed. Now it is dry and warmed by the gentle embrace of the flickering fireplace. As you lay your blankets beside the crackling fire, a wave of warmth envelops you, bringing a sense of comfort that has eluded you for days. Cooper and Fitzgerald mirror your actions, arranging themselves so that the three of you create a loose semicircle around the warm glow of the hearth. Beyond these walls, the wild may scream and thrash, yet within this haven, crafted by human ingenuity, from the very essence of the woods, there exists refuge. In the embrace of security, one finds solace. As you gently slip into slumber, your gaze wanders to the ceiling above, where a delicate weave of rafters, purlins, and bark dances in the flickering glow of the firelight. The water has ceased its gentle descent upon your visage. The wind has ceased its relentless dance, no longer slicing through your blankets. The smoke ascends gracefully up the chimney, leaving the room untouched and clear. In the heart of the wild, what we often overlook in the hustle of civilization transforms into pure magic, each simple comfort a wondrous gift. As you drift toward slumber, a fleeting realization washes over you. You have stepped beyond an unseen boundary. You're not merely enduring the wilderness anymore, you're starting to thrive within it. In contrast to the sleek comforts of contemporary living, this cabin stands as a testament to simplicity and raw beauty. Its walls may be rough-hewn, and the warmth it offers is born from the very elements that surround it. Yet it is a sanctuary forged by your own hands, a creation that speaks to the heart and soul of your journey, and therein lies its true magic. Tomorrow unfolds with the promise of labor, an unceasing tide, the essence of mountain existence. Yet, as night descends, you find solace in the certainty that the fiercest winds of the storm have passed you by. What you're crafting goes beyond mere walls. You're weaving the very fabric of existence. A hush envelops you as you awaken, a silence that feels foreign and strange. The relentless wind that has accompanied you for days has at last fallen silent, once the tempest has faded into memory. Sunlight dances through the tiny openings in the bark roof, creating a mosaic of shadows on the earthen floor. The embers flicker softly, their glow a gentle reminder of the night's embrace, while the cabin cradles its warmth, a steadfast guardian against the chill outside. In the stillness of the morning, Cooper and Fitzgerald lie in slumber, their snores weaving a curious melody that dances through the tranquil air. With a quiet grace, you stand and gently place a handful of sticks onto the flickering flames, nurturing the warmth that dances in the night. The flames dance eagerly, spreading a comforting warmth throughout the cozy nook. Beyond the narrow frame of the lone window, shielded by a piece of oiled rawhide, lies a world reborn. All is cloaked in a veil of white, untouched and pure. In the stillness of winter, snow envelopes the clearing, forming drifts that rise majestically to meet the cabin walls, whispering tales of the season's embrace. The storm has passed. Fitzgerald murmurs from behind you, his voice thick with slumber. He rises, extending his slender limbs with a graceful stretch. It's going to be as chilly as a winter's night, my friend. With a low grunt, Cooper shifts his weight and turns over. What delightful feast awaits us this morning. My hunger is so fierce I could devour my own moccasins. In the midst of the rough surroundings, a profound sense of fulfillment envelops this moment. The cabin, your cabin, has bravely weathered its inaugural storm. The roof stood strong, the chimney breathed with purpose, and the walls stood guard against the fiercest of winds. Though it remains a work in progress, it stood guard over you as the night unfolded. In the pages of an extraordinary diary, I stumbled upon the words of a trapper named Hugh Glass, who penned, "First morning in my own cabin after the storm broke." Who would have imagined that a simple structure could evoke the grandeur of a palace? I almost shed a tear into my coffee, feeling like a tender-hearted soul from a small town. For breakfast, the remnants of last night's rabbit are brought back to life, warmed anew over the crackling fire. The flavors deepen and develop beautifully when the meat rests overnight. The essence is richer. As you partake in your meal, each bite is a moment to cherish, a quiet reflection on the journey ahead where sustenance will weave itself into the fabric of your days. Indeed, he speaks the truth. A well-crafted floor transcends mere comfort. It serves as an additional shield against the biting cold and relentless wetness that claim the lives of more mountain men than any bullet or bear ever could. Do we have a sufficient supply of straight logs for the floor joists? Fitzgerald inquires, casting a look at the timber that still stands around you. You ought to have, you respond. I trimmed away more than necessary for the walls. With a knowing nod, he affirms. We'll tackle that once we've managed to clear our way through a bit more. Our journey begins with the task of forging a clear passage from the entrance. The snow has gathered around it, forming a towering mound nearly 4 feet high. With a flat piece of bark in hand, Cooper skillfully carves through the drift, crafting a narrow passage that beckons exploration. As you step outside, the chill wraps around you, striking like a tangible force. The tempest has moved on, yet it has bequeathed a chill so fierce that even a drop of saliva would freeze before touching the earth. The sky above stretches out in a stark, unyielding blue, devoid of any clouds to soften its gaze. As you exhale, a mist envelops your visage, transforming swiftly into delicate ice crystals that adorn your beard. In the midst of the harsh chill, there lies a captivating allure that cannot be overlooked. The forest enveloping your clearing has become a shimmering realm, each branch draped in white, the snow glistening like a myriad of diamonds beneath the gentle embrace of the morning sun. Cooper pauses in his shoveling, taking a moment to soak in the scenery. I have to admit, he says, you just don't find views like this back in St. Louis. Beauty won't shield you from the cold, Fitzgerald responds, with a touch of practicality. Let us lay down that floor with purpose. You wouldn't believe the challenges these individuals faced in mastering the art of floor construction. During my journey to the Mountain Man Museum in Wyoming, the curator unveiled a reconstructed cabin floor and shared the tale of how they lacked the luxury of milled lumber. Each board was meticulously split by hand, employing an axe and wedges in a laborious process known as riving. The journey was one of great toil, and the outcomes, alas, were not without their flaws. As you step back inside, the adventure begins with the careful measuring and marking of the spots where the floor joists will find their place. Behold the sturdy support beams, steadfastly positioned to uphold the very floor of the cabin, stretching across in a direction that dances perpendicular to its long axis. They should be arranged with care, approximately 2 feet apart, and connected to the lower logs of the walls in a thoughtful manner. The finest approach, as Fitzgerald illustrates, is to create notches in the sill logs, directing attention to the lowest logs of the cabin walls. Carve out recesses for the joists to rest in, ensuring a harmonious balance throughout. Under Fitzgerald's guidance, you and Cooper alternate in swinging the axe, meticulously carving notches into the sill logs. It demands meticulous attention and a steady touch, a true craft of focus. Every notch must be carved to the same depth, or the floor will tell a tale of unevenness. After the notches are skillfully carved, you bring forth the chosen logs for the joists, straight pines, robust and about 6 inches in diameter. The tops of these must be smoothed out to create a flat surface for the floor planks to rest upon. With the axe in hand, he skillfully carves away at the curved upper surface of each log, transforming them into flat planes with precision and care. In this manner, Cooper showcases his skill, executing graceful, deliberate swings with the axe. The blade gently grazes the wood, coaxing away delicate strips instead of cleaving deeply. You're not aiming to fell it, simply smooth it out. It's an art that requires dedication and refinement. Your initial efforts may be rough and inconsistent, yet with every movement, you find yourself growing stronger and more skilled. As the sun reaches its zenith, you've skillfully shaped the upper edges of 5 joists, seamlessly placing them into their designated notches on one side of the cabin. As you progress, Fitzgerald nods in approval, carefully examining your efforts. And now we arrive at the challenging chapter. The true challenge as it unfolds lies in crafting the very floorboards themselves. In the absence of a proper sawmill, one must embark on the arduous journey of splitting logs, a task that yields planks that are often rough and uneven at best. Cooper chooses a straight-grained pine, its trunk measuring around 15 inches across. This will suffice. First, we shall divide it into quarters, then into eighths, and finally into sixteenths. With every division, a new canvas emerges. With axes in hand and wooden wedges at the ready, you embark on the arduous journey of splitting the log, each swing a testament to your determination. With a deft motion, Cooper brings the back of his axe down, driving the first wedge into the end grain. As the split begins to widen, he skillfully adds a second, deepening the divide. With careful precision, you drive each wedge deeper into the log, and at last, with a resonant sigh of parting wood fibers, it yields and divides perfectly in 2. With a sense of fulfillment, Cooper remarks on the quality of the grain in this one, simplifies the task at hand. I came across a tale from a pioneering woman who observed her husband and brothers as they constructed their cabin. She penned, the man dedicated a whole day to the task of splitting a single log for the floorboards. As darkness descended, their hands bore the marks of toil, and all that remained of their efforts were 8 weathered planks, and so they deemed it a fruitful day's endeavor. The tale unfolds further. Each section is divided once more and then again until you are left with rough planks measuring approximately 2 inches in thickness. Their surfaces remain widely uneven, with split sides jagged and adorned with splinters and torn fibers. We must refine these a touch, Fitzgerald remarks, gliding his hand across the uneven texture of a plank. It may not be a sight to behold, but it should be level enough to tread upon without the fear of splinters as large as your finger. Once more the axe comes into play, wielded with precision to smooth out the high spots and refine the rough edges. With each careful stroke, the planks slowly transform, their surfaces aligning into a harmonious blend, revealing the beauty hidden within. As the sun begins to dip toward the horizon, you've skillfully crafted a bounty of floorboards, enough to cloak half of the cabin's inviting floor. These are positioned across the joists, their edges meeting with a careful closeness. They remain unanchored. Nails hold a value that far exceeds their place upon the ground, yet their heft ensures a certain steadiness. With a firm stomp on the newly laid floor, Cooper declares, "Good." Sturdy. The contrast is clear and captivating. The weathered boards might lack beauty, yet they elevate you above the chilly, moist ground. After weeks of resting on the unforgiving earth, the sensation of a sturdy floor underfoot stirs unexpected emotions within you. In the archives of the Montana Historical Society, I stumbled upon a letter penned by a trapper to his brother, sharing the news. Finally got my floor laid down. You chuckle at the sight, all askew like a dog's hind leg and brimming with splinters, but I nearly shed tears when I finally stood on wood instead of dirt for the first time in months. It's the small moments in this vast expanse that anchor a soul to sanity. We should really set up that sleeping platform before the light fades, Fitzgerald remarks, glancing at the sun as it sinks toward the western mountains. As the year wanes, the days grow brief, and shadows stretch their fingers across the land long before twilight settles in. In one cozy corner of the cabin lies a raised bed, a serene sleeping platform inviting rest and dreams. It fulfills a dual role, lifting you from the ground for restful slumber, while also crafting a hidden realm of storage beneath. You choose the north corner, distant from both the door and the warmth of the fireplace. Employing the same methods as the flooring, you craft a straightforward frame that connects to the walls, bolstered by two posts on the open side. In this scene, you arrange additional split planks, crafting a platform that rises about 2 feet from the ground, ample enough for a single person to rest comfortably. Cooper offers a suggestion. Perhaps it would be wise to fill that with pine boughs. It creates a cozier resting place, enveloping you in warmth, Fitzgerald notes. The airspace below wraps around you, holding back the chill that seeks to rise and touch your skin. As the floor takes shape and the sleeping platform settles in, the cabin starts to transform, evolving from mere shelter into a warm and inviting home. What a stunning change it is, especially when just days ago all that stood were trees. As the shadows deepen, Cooper ventures forth once more to inspect his snares. He comes back without any spoils this time, yet remains unfazed. One can't anticipate a rabbit every single day, he remarks with a casual shrug. Tomorrow we shall embark on our journey once more. The evening meal returns to the familiar taste of jerky and the remnants of Fitzgerald's dried corn. As you dine by the flickering firelight, the flames dance and weave, casting elongated shadows upon the freshly built floor and walls. You did well to discover this place, Fitzgerald remarks, shattering the stillness that had lingered for so long. Clear waters, sturdy timber, a slope that basks in the sun, chosen by one with a discerning eye. It's the nearest semblance of praise you've ever garnered from him, and it envelops you in warmth, much like the flickering flames nearby. Fortune smiled upon you, you confess. After 3 long days of searching, I was on the verge of surrender. Cooper lets out a snort. Fortune is merely the moment when readiness encounters chance. You had the insight to seek it out, and there it was, waiting for you. His words carry a profound truth. Though you might be a novice in the art of cabin building, your time spent in the mountains has equipped you with the wisdom to identify a prime location for winter shelter. How long have you two been out here? You inquire, your curiosity finally getting the better of you. Fitzgerald and Cooper share a glance, an unvoiced understanding flowing silently between them. In the year 28, I journeyed up the Missouri. Fitzgerald recounts joining forces with the Rocky Mountain Fur Company. I've been weaving my way through these mountains ever since. 6 years, you say, with a sense of wonder. He nods, acknowledging that many men struggle to endure even a single season. Cooper has been out longer. Go ahead and share that, Coop. Cooper gazes into the flames, the dance of the fire casting deeper shadows across his weathered features. Since the age of 22, I embarked on Ashley's inaugural expedition, witnessing the elephant, as the saying goes. After 12 long years in the mountains, it feels like a tale woven from the fabric of dreams. In the rugged wilderness, the life of a mountain man is a fleeting tale, often lasting no more than 5 years, if fortune smiles upon them. Amidst fierce tribes, formidable grizzlies, unforeseen mishaps, and the harsh truths of life in the wild, very few endure beyond a decade. In my exploration, I stumbled upon a fascinating census from the American Fur Company, dated 1830, revealing that the average age at which mountain men met their end was a mere 35. The researcher I conversed with at the Denver Museum shared that these were men of remarkable grit, yet the mountains proved to be even more formidable. To endure over a decade in such a harsh environment was not merely remarkable, it bordered on the extraordinary. The twilight gracefully surrenders to the embrace of night. As the chill outside deepens, the warmth from the fireplace envelops the room, creating a cozy sanctuary against the cold. The newly crafted floor and sleeping platform have woven a tapestry of comfort that is truly remarkable. "Tomorrow we'll complete that floor," Cooper declares as he lays out his blanket with care. "If time permits, perhaps consider adding some shelves. You'll find it essential to have spaces for keeping your belongings safe." "I've got some thoughts on that," you muse, envisioning the wall space above the sleeping platform. Once upon a time, there was a desire to craft a small table, perhaps even a humble stool. Fitzgerald nods with a knowing smile, his thoughts weaving a tapestry of survival and intent. "Excellent. Have you ever pondered what truly captivates me about these individuals?" In a letter I stumbled upon at the Historical Society in Bozeman, a trapper penned, "Built my first chair yesterday. A rough creation. It appears as though it was crafted by someone facing significant challenges, perhaps lacking sight and steady hands. Yet, as I settled down this evening, enjoying my meal like a refined individual, rather than crouching like a beast, I felt a sense of royalty wash over me. In times of scarcity, these little joys become the very essence of what truly matters." As the night wraps around you like a comforting blanket, your mind wanders to the whirlwind of changes that have unfolded in just a matter of days. From a state of openness and fragility to one of protection and newfound stability. From facing challenges in solitude to joining forces with seasoned allies, the cabin stands, a bastion of simplicity in a world untouched by modernity, a stronghold against the wild expanse that surrounds it. As the night unfolds, slumber wraps around you like a comforting blanket, your body weary from the toil of the day, while your thoughts drift serenely into the quiet embrace of rest. The crackling of the flames, paired with the rhythmic breaths of those around you, weaves a warm embrace against the night's chill. Envision the cabin, a vision brought to life, with the floor perfectly laid, walls adorned with moss and clay, shelves brimming with supplies, and perhaps a small window carved into the south wall, inviting the warm glow of sunlight inside. In the dream, the snow drifts and accumulates outside, yet you find yourself enveloped in warmth and safety within. In contrast to the cozy modern bed, adorned with a soft mattress and warm blankets, your sleeping platform remains firm and unyielding. Yet it offers dryness, elevation from the ground, and a sense of ownership, crafted by your own hands from the very forest that surrounds you. That connection transforms the experience entirely. As awareness dims, a singular notion dances through your thoughts. I am merging with this realm, and it is intertwining with my essence. The cabin stands not merely as a refuge, but as the dawn of a fresh existence, deeply intertwined with the wild that once felt so unwelcoming. Tomorrow beckons with its demands and trials, yet tonight you find solace in the deepening understanding that you may indeed endure. In these rugged mountains, the act of surviving is a triumph worth celebrating. The night thickens, the flames flicker gently, and the cabin cradles the three of you in its sturdy arms. A small haven of warmth amidst the endless expanse of untamed nature. Above, the stars dance in the crisp night sky, their brilliance unmatched, while the haunting calls of the wolves resonate from a far-off ridge, their howls weaving through the stillness of the snow-blanketed valley. Yet within these walls, crafted by your own hands, there lies a sanctuary, a ceiling to shelter you, a ground to support you, and the hopeful whisper of a new day ahead. As dawn breaks, a piercing light floods the scene, the sun's rays dancing upon the pristine snow and weaving their way through the crevices of the cabin's weathered walls. 3 days have slipped by since the tempest unleashed its fury. 3 days filled with relentless toil, laying the floor, crafting makeshift furniture, sealing every crevice, and bracing for the long winter that looms ahead. Now, the moment has come for Cooper and Fitzgerald to embark on their departure. Cooper kneels by the fire, the flickering flames casting shadows as he heats a cup of water. "We can't delay any longer," he says, a sense of urgency in his voice. "Our cabin needs attention before the next storm arrives." You acknowledge with a nod, grasping the situation, though a hint of discontent lingers within you. Just days ago, these men were mere strangers, but through the shared toil of construction, an unexpected bond has blossomed, rich and profound. Gratitude flows from you effortlessly, and out to the rugged simplicity of the mountain man's heart, where emotions are conveyed without the frills of sentimentality. Fitzgerald dismisses it with a flick of his hand. "You would have taken the same path. In all honesty, you would have. That's the hidden narrative that guides us here. Today, you take the stage, and tomorrow, it will be my turn to shine. No soul traverses these peaks in complete solitude." I stumbled upon a letter penned by a mountain man named Jim Bridger, in which he recounted his recent endeavor of helping to raise the walls of Thornton's cabin just last week. He may very well become my rival for beaver when spring arrives, but that's a concern for another time. In the chill of winter, we find ourselves called to unite, if only for a fleeting moment. Come, Thor, let us return to our watch over the trap lines as if we were guardians of hidden treasures. In the span of mere days, the cabin has undergone a stunning transformation. The floor is now finished, with rugged split planks laid out to cover the entire earthen ground beneath. Against the west wall, a small table resides, crafted from an assortment of smaller logs and adorned with a smooth, flattened piece of pine. Next to it stands a three-legged stool, rough yet practical, a far better option than crouching on the ground. Above your sleeping platform, shelves stretch along the wall, offering a sanctuary for food and supplies, securely kept from the prying paws of mice and other unwelcome creatures. The fireplace has been elegantly transformed. The chimney drawer was enhanced through the careful adjustment of several upper stones. In a meticulous dance of nature and craftsmanship, every crevice between the logs has been lovingly filled with a blend of mud, moss, and pine needles. The sturdy walls stand resolute against the biting wind, a marked improvement from what once was. "It all came together in the end," Cooper remarks, surveying the scene with a sense of satisfaction, far superior to my initial cabin, without a doubt. "Ah, is that so?" Your brow arches, intrigue sparking within you. He lets out a soft laugh, a sound seldom heard. The roof gave way under the weight of the first heavy snow, nearly entombing me in a chilling embrace. Found myself buried beneath a blanket of 2 feet of snow, forced to carve a path and begin anew. "How did you weave that together?" Pose your question. Cooper gives a nonchalant shrug. "Just like everyone else navigates this place. With each passing day, we carve our path, one log at a time. In his straightforward philosophy lies a depth of wisdom. The wilderness reveals its secrets slowly, one step at a time. Survival unfolds step by step. A single meal, a humble shelter, and the relentless passage of one day after another. With the remnants of jerky and the final bits of parched corn fueling their morning, Cooper and Fitzgerald prepare to embark, collecting their meager belongings. They journey with minimal burdens, as every true wanderer of the peaks is compelled to do. A rifle, perhaps a bag, a knife, an axe, and a blanket. The instruments of endurance, nothing beyond that. Where might your cabin be hidden? You pose the question, coming to the realization that it had never crossed your mind to ask before. At the fork in the road, Fitzgerald responds, his hands sweeping in a vague motion toward the south. It's a journey of about half a day on foot when the ground is clear, but with this snow, we might not reach our destination until nightfall. The snow lies thick, nearly 3 feet in some areas, making travel a daunting task, particularly when forging a path through the pristine drifts untouched by any traveler. Do take some of the rabbit meat, you urge with a gentle insistence. A generous portion remains, lovingly smoked over the fire to ensure its preservation. With grateful nods, they embrace this offering. In the rugged heights, meat holds a power beyond mere wealth, surpassing even the allure of gold. In the year 1834, I stumbled upon a journal entry penned by a trapper. He recounted a moment when he proposed to Taylor, offering 5 beaver pelts in exchange for half of his elk haunch. He declined, stating that pelts are not edible. He was right indeed. When a man's hunger grows fierce enough, he'd part with a year's bounty of furs for just a satisfying meal. At the threshold, Fitzgerald hesitates. We may swing by to see how you're doing if our path crosses yours. Ensure you're not completely frozen in place. It's about as near as a rugged soul can come to showing worry. You acknowledge the weight of the rough words, sensing the deeper emotions they carry. Doors stand ajar, you say, save for when they shut tight against the chill. Cooper lets out a hearty laugh, a sharp, barking sound, suggesting we've truly transformed him into a genuine mountain man Fitz, already spinning out dreadful jokes. With final nods and fleeting handshakes, a rare moment of connection in a world where men usually maintain their space, they take their leave. From your vantage point at the doorway, you observe them laboriously making their way through the thick blanket of snow, tracing the rugged trail that has been etched by countless journeys between the cabin and the creek. They forge ahead, never glancing over their shoulders. But that path leads you astray, and in an instant, solitude envelops you once more. The cabin seems to expand in their absence, enveloped in a serene hush. You shut the door to keep the chill at bay and rest your back against it, taking in the scene around you. Though it remains unrefined by any cultured measure, with rough-hewn logs and earth peeking through the spaces in the floorboards and the ceiling around the chimney already bearing the marks of smoke, it stands firm and steadfast. With a touch of wisdom and a sprinkle of fortune, it shall sustain you through the cold embrace of winter. And so, we embark on the next chapter, readying ourselves for the extended solitude that lies before us. Allow me to share a thought that may give you pause. Records from fur company registers reveal a stark reality. Roughly 1 in 5 mountain men met their fate during their inaugural winter in solitude. The usual culprits weren't fierce bear assaults or aggressive tribes. It was a tale of hunger, sickness, and unforeseen mishaps, with no soul nearby to lend a hand. Now that Cooper and Fitzgerald have departed, your foremost concern is sustenance. The leftover rabbit meat will be good for just a day or two. Following that, the quest for sustenance will require you to seek out or ensnare your next meal with diligence. As dawn breaks, you find yourself weaving a tale of survival, carefully placing snares along the game trails that meander by the creek. Delicate spirals of rugged rawhide connect to gracefully arched saplings. When the moment arrives, they spring into action, seizing rabbits or other small creatures by the leg or neck. It's a subtle approach to hunting that unfolds effortlessly while you engage in other pursuits. Next, gather the wood that will fuel your flames. In the heart of winter, a cabin of this size will require a staggering quantity of wood to keep its warmth alive against the biting cold. Running out of fuel in February would spell doom. With a determined spirit, you haul the fallen logs from the nearby forest, skillfully chopping them into manageable lengths with your trusty axe. The toil in the deep snow is wearisome, yet it is a task that must be undertaken. As the sun reaches its zenith, you've crafted a robust stack of firewood along the southern wall of the cabin, shielded from the harshest gusts and easily accessible from the entrance. Within these walls, you persist in your quest for order. The shelves await their treasures, and the supplies yearn for a thoughtful arrangement. In the snug embrace of the cabin, every item finds its rightful spot, weaving a tapestry of order amidst the cozy chaos. From your meager collection, you assess the scant treasures at your disposal. With flint and steel in hand, the spark of a new flame awaits to be born. A humble pouch containing treasured salt, along with a needle and sinew for mending. Additional lead balls and powder for your trusty rifle. a tool for honing the edge of your knife and axe, ensuring they remain sharp and ready for any task. Upon the highest shelf, these treasures find their place, meticulously arranged to shield them from the perils of moisture and the scurrying of rodents. Your rifle finds its place on the pegs above the door, a perfect balance of readiness and subtlety, always within reach yet gracefully tucked away. The axe rests in the corner by the fireplace, its blade lovingly sheathed in a leather cover crafted from leftover scraps. I've always been captivated by the way these individuals arrange their compact environments. In a remarkable archaeological excavation of a trapper's cabin, it was revealed that the trapper had ingeniously crafted specialized storage areas. In one corner, the aroma of food wafts through the air. In another, the clinking of tools awaits their purpose. And in a third, the rich textures of furs and hides beckon with untold stories. Every item found its rightful spot, enhancing the functionality of a space that was scarcely bigger than a contemporary restroom. As the sun begins to dip towards the horizon, you've woven a tapestry of harmony within your humble realm. The cabin now exudes a sense of livability that borders on comfort. Yet an elusive element lingers in the air, something unnamed, until your gaze falls upon the untouched stretch of log wall adjacent to your resting place. Even in this place, a home craves a hint of individuality, a whisper of warmth that speaks to the heart. From your collection of belongings, you retrieve the worn stub of a pencil, a cherished item you've clung to during your time in the mountains. With deliberate strokes, you start to etch upon the wall, not intricate illustrations, merely straightforward hash marks to tally the days. On this day, the 28th of October, in the year 1834, a tale unfolds. The winter looms before us, vast and filled with unknowns. Underneath the calendar's annotations, you begin to weave a rough map of the nearby landscape, drawing from the depths of your recollection. There lies the creek, the ridge standing tall to the north, and the valley unfolding gracefully to the south. Signposts that could guide you through the thick blanket of snow, helping you find your way amidst the swirling white. This simple gesture of personalization weaves a delicate yet significant change into the fabric of the space. The cabin transforms from mere shelter into a cherished home, a place where stories unfold and memories are woven into the very walls. As the shadows lengthen and the night creeps in, just as it does each year at this time, you gather kindling for the fire and set about crafting a humble meal from the last of the rabbit meat. The solitude of dining alone once more feels peculiar, a stark contrast to the fleeting connection experienced in recent days. I stumbled upon a poignant entry in a trapper's journal, capturing the essence of his first night spent in solitude within my new cabin. In the stillness, the only sound that dances through the air is the gentle crackle of the fire. Earlier, I found myself conversing with the walls, yearning for the sound of a human voice and reciting my mother's cherished psalm. Though I haven't sought the solace of prayer for many years, the echo slipped away far too swiftly. As you perch upon your freshly crafted stool, your elbows resting on the rugged table, you ponder the unfolding months that lie before you. In these mountains, winter weaves its chilly tapestry, often lingering until the arrival of April, at the very least. 5 months spent in solitude, surrounded by chill and ever-watchful awareness. Countless men find themselves unable to reach their destination. Those who embark on this journey find themselves transformed by the experience. The looming possibility should send shivers down your spine, yet an unexpected tranquility washes over you. The endeavor of constructing the cabin has instilled a sense of confidence within you. Imagine the wonders you could achieve if you could turn towering trees into cozy havens in just a few days. What other marvels lie within your grasp? As the sun dips below the horizon, slumber beckons, your weary body yearning for rest after countless days of toil. The sleeping platform, now adorned with soft pine boughs beneath your blanket, offers a semblance of comfort. The fireplace casts a warm glow, sending its comforting heat to every nook and cranny of the cozy room. In the stillness of the night, you rise to feed the flickering flames with more wood, ensuring their warmth continues to dance in the darkness. In the stillness of the night, you find yourself enveloped by the cabin's whispers, the gentle creaks and pops of the wood as it breathes with the shifting temperatures, and the sporadic thud of snow cascading from the roof above. What once echoed with foreboding now resonates with a sense of a familiarity, as if they have become old friends. The cabin pulses with a life of its own, shifting and exhaling in the chill of the air. With the dawn, a fresh sense of direction unfolds. As you wander through the woods, you inspect your snares and discover 2 rabbits. They may be smaller than your ideal catch, yet they still promise sustenance for the journey ahead. You tend to them with great care in the open air, preserving even the innards to serve as bait for additional traps. The chill in the air has deepened as night fell, wrapping the world in a colder embrace. The air is so still that your breath crystallizes the moment it escapes your lips, while the snow beneath your boots lets out a soft squeak, a clear indication of the biting cold that surrounds you. Within the cabin's embrace, frost clings to the corners farthest from the warmth of the fireplace, a testament to your relentless attempts at sealing every crevice. This will be the ultimate challenge of your creation, not merely to shield against the howling winds and swirling snow, but to stand firm against the relentless chill that can claim the life of a slumbering soul before he even stirs to feed the flames of his hearth. The day unfolds as you weave the final touches into the fabric of the cabin. With a blend of mud and the ashes from the fireplace, you carefully fill in the last remaining gaps between the logs, ensuring a sturdy and warm embrace for the structure. One might consider adding a second layer of bark to sections of the roof that permit an unwelcome chill to seep in. You craft a simple door for the window opening, a barrier to be drawn at night, holding warmth within your space. As the sun reaches its zenith, you've poured your heart into preparing the cabin for the chill of winter. Now unfolds another vital chapter, the creation of a cache of emergency supplies beyond the cabin's embrace. I had a conversation with a wilderness survival expert who shared the reasoning behind this practice. In the shadowy embrace of the wilderness, mountain men would craft hidden caches tucked away from prying eyes, a short trek from their humble cabins. In the face of calamity, be it a raging fire, a sudden roof collapse, or the threat of marauding hostiles, they would have their emergency supplies ready, a lifeline in the chaos. It might just be the line that separates life from oblivion. You choose a spot roughly 50 yards from the cabin, beside a striking pine tree, marked by the scars of a lightning, standing tall and proud even amidst the heaviest snowfall. In that moment, you plunge your hands into the cold white blanket, unearthing the hard earth below. With each swing of your axe, you carve out a small, inviting hollow, a sanctuary amidst the winter's chill. Within this hidden trove, you carefully stow away essential fire-starting supplies encased in oiled buckskin, alongside a small knife, a handful of lead balls, and just the right amount of powder for a few shots. You also include some jerky, enough to sustain a man for a day or two. You carefully conceal the cache beneath a layer of rocks and snow, crafting a delicate arrangement of sticks to mark its location, an artful disguise that would appear entirely ordinary to any passerby, save for your keen eye. Protection woven into the fabric of an unpredictable tomorrow. As you approach the cabin, a sense of wonder washes over you at its sturdy presence. Smoke curling gracefully from the chimney, the walls steadfast against the blanket of snow. It's hard to fathom that just a week ago this was merely a collection of timber waiting for its story to unfold. Within the cozy confines, you stoke the flames with fresh wood, preparing for the evening ahead. The early winter darkness casts a spell, promising long hours to fill before the gentle embrace of sleep arrives. As the days unfold, it becomes essential to weave together rituals that will help you navigate the solitude with grace. Some men shape wood with care, others pen their thoughts in journals, while still others find solace in quiet contemplation, sifting through memories as if they were treasured gems. For now you find solace in the moment, embracing the gentle glow of the fire, savoring the soothing sounds of crackling pine, and taking pride in the sanctuary you've crafted with your own hands and determination. A letter from a mountain man to his brother back east came into my possession, and it encapsulates this sentiment beautifully. It's curious, Thomas, but I find a profound contentment in this humble cabin I crafted with my own hands, far surpassing any grand house I've ever stepped into. Each log, each stone nestled in the fireplace, every plank that forms the floor tells a tale of my toil, my decisions woven into the very fabric of this place. In that understanding, a deep tranquility resides, even in the face of adversity. As the night deepens beyond your walls, you ensure the door is securely latched, toss another log onto the crackling fire, and find your place upon the sleeping platform, ready for the tales that the darkness may bring. As the sun sets, you find solace in the quiet of the evening, reflecting on the trials that await with the dawn. Tomorrow promises new challenges, more hunting, and the relentless preparations for the encroaching winter. Yet, tonight, you can rest easy, knowing that you have achieved something truly remarkable. You have woven the untamed wild into a haven of safety. You've woven a realm that exists between the living and the end. You have shown, if only to yourself, that your place is among these majestic mountains. The flickering firelight plays upon the log walls, creating a tapestry of warm, dancing shadows. Outside, the air grows colder, and the stars shimmer like fragile jewels against the deep, dark canvas of the night. Within you find warmth, protection, and the pulse of life. In this realm, where the soft embrace of your familiar bed feels like a distant memory, each fleeting moment of ease is a hard-won treasure, cultivated through diligence and wisdom. Each night that passes is a triumph in its own right. Each dawn that breaks is a precious treasure. As slumber gently wraps around you, your mind wanders to the tales of Cooper and Fitzgerald. By now, they ought to have arrived at their own cabin, perhaps nestled by their own fire, dreaming up their own winter plans. As the season of renewal unfolds, fate may weave your journeys together once more at a meeting place, or perhaps while laboring alongside the same waters in pursuit of beaver. In the rugged embrace of the mountains, the life of a man unfolds in solitude. Yet companionship lingers in the air, weaving through the silence. In distant corners of the world, souls akin to yours are waging their own struggles against the biting chill, the gnawing hunger, and the heavy cloak of solitude. This understanding brings a unique sense of solace. Your breath becomes a gentle rhythm, deep and steady. The cabin wraps around you, its rugged presence offering a sense of safety and warmth. The flames whisper softly in the heart, speaking a timeless dialect that echoes through the ages of mankind. As you drift toward slumber, a single thought lingers, both simple and deeply resonant. This is my creation. With these hands, I crafted this tale. As you gently slip into the realm of dreams, your thoughts may intertwine with those of the listener, nestled snugly in their own bed, shielded from the stark truths of mountain life by the passage of time. Perhaps they too sense a faint bond with those courageous, desperate souls who shape their homes from the wild, using only their resolve and basic instruments. Perhaps they too can feel the deep fulfillment that comes from crafting something that nurtures life, something that serves as a barrier between delicate humanity and the unyielding powers of nature. And perhaps, as slumber softly envelops them, they'll take with them a richer insight into the essence of crafting a sanctuary in the wilderness, one log at a time. The flames flicker gently, casting a warm glow in the dimness. The cabin endures, a steadfast sentinel in the embrace of the night. As winter envelops the landscape, it brings a stark yet captivating beauty. Within the confines of his humble abode, a rugged mountain man slumbers, poised to confront the challenges that the dawn may unveil. Take comfort in the knowledge that throughout history, the resilience of humanity has illuminated paths to warmth and refuge, even in the face of adversity. Allow that